Okay, guys, it is time for our retro review segment on MD Global Muscle. Last week, we did the first Arnold Classic retro review, which is the 1993 Arnold, which was Flex Wheeler's pro debut, but it was his first Arnold Classic, his second pro show. He won that one. So we've had a great feedback on that one. So we're going to do the 1998 Arnold Classic now. So this is arguably, I think, between the 93 and the 98 is the two looks of Flex Wheeler that won the show, arguably which his best look was. So some people say it was the 93 where he was 218 with more classic lines. And some people say it was the 1998 Arnold Classic. Personally, I think it was the 98 Arnold. I think this is his blend of conditioning and size and just everything. I think he just... a friend of mine, MD forum member Mike Cox, said he went and he said, Giles, he says, that's the most perfect physique I've ever seen. He said he was just like a statue. He said he's absolutely incredible. So let's go to the 1998 Arnold Classic, which this was the TV show that aired on TV with Arnold and what's the guy's name? Madeley? Forget anyway. He was the presenter on American Gladiators. So let's go to that now. Okay, can we hear that? Adamley, that's his name. Mike Adamley. Yeah, turn up a little bit.
Pumping over 200 decibels of screaming guitar.
It's good production.
What do you get?
Better than 93.
It's rock and roll, baby. It's rock and roll.
It's Arnold's rock and roll bodybuilding championship.
Does Arnold look like he's had a few drinks there?
Rock muscle meets rock
or has he had a bit something else?
Of the world's most
some pre-workout.
Bon Jovi, Chopper One, Ministry,
Bon Jovi. Oh, they're crediting the music. Bon Jovi have done the music for the
American Gladiators. Mike Adamley and the
Did you used to watch American Gladiators?
of all time, Arnold
Did you? Me too.
Schwarzenegger.
I used to do my jabs on a Saturday night. I was 17, Decker and Sust, and I'd watch Gladiators get all pumped up, and I'd go and jab my Decker and Sust.
On network TV. And that's why everyone here tonight is so
Arnold's
pumped up.
killing me.
And I'm talking about the crowd,
So this
the
was
competitors, and of course,
23 years ago.
Not to mention millions of fans watching at home, so
Killing
get
them.
ready because tonight you're not only going to see some rock-hard muscle on these incredible competitors,
Sounds
but also
dodgy.
hear some music that will rock your world.
1998 has been a big year for
All right, I'll
Culmination of hours and years and months of training. Let's go down to the main stage of the 1998 Arnold Classic.
What an Arnold Classic this was.
Jean-Pierre Fuchs from Switzerland, 6'1",
Jean-Pierre Fuchs. This was the one, Jean-Pierre was on the show the other week, and I said he looked really good at his show. And he said that was one of his worst conditions. I think he looks fantastic here. I think he was 4th place in this one.
The smallest athlete in the competition, 5'5"
Jeff
inches
Long.
tall, 195 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, Jeffrey Long.
Wow, Jeff Long, remember him, he was good. I'd
I'd
imagine he'd be a 212 if that was around then. You can see Aaron Baker in the background. One of the most underrated pros of all time. It's Vince Taylor, the 1992 Arnold Classic champion. I think he won, I'm sure it's about 29 pro shows. Was it 28? Him, Kevin Navrone, and Dexter Jackson have the record for the most pro wins. Look at that.
A 29-year-old, our wonder from down under, Perth, Australia. We haven't seen him before. Grant Clemesha.
Oh, Grant Clemesha, yeah, winner of the Nabi Universe in the late 90s. And he switched to the Pro League. And it looks good here. Bloody hell, looks really good. His chest.
If you like mass, you're gonna love
I like this with the NASA. NASA won this show in 1990, won it a year later. Now this NASA was really peaking because he just got second at the Arnold Classic. Sorry, second at the Mr. Olympia to Dorian Yates. Some people feel he should have won it. So he was obviously coming to the Arnold Classic, trying to ride that wave. Roland Zerlock. We've got to get Roland Zerlock on MD Globe Muscle. Got to get him on. He's got a very interesting story. I won't spoil it. Flex Wheeler. Now, Flex Wheeler won it in 1993. 1997, but he was a lot smaller in 97 than he was in 98. But in 98, he came back and he won this. He came back bigger and with even better condition, I think, than 97. Don Long. Guy's career was very short. Professional dancer? I didn't know that. Yeah, he got third of the Night of Champions in 96. And then he had kidney problems. I think he had to have a kidney transplant. Darren Charles, sorry?
Always in superb shape.
I can't hear you. Yeah, it's good, it's good.
Up next, this is
More, there was a lot more kind of pizzazz, obviously, with Arnold behind. Look at, oh, hang on, Aaron Baker. How did this guy not win multiple pro shows? Come on. Professional model. He's been in films. I've seen films he's in. He was in one of the Naked Guns. It's like a little walk-on part, but from Leeds, England. That sounds familiar. He used to train at our gym, you know, in Gemini. Ian, yeah. Ian Harrison, yeah, in the 90s. Well, 80s, sorry.
This is Chris Cormier.
Chris Cormier, my co-host.
They call him the real deal.
Oh, Chris looked good here. Chris always looked good. Chris, for me, leveled up in 97 when I saw him at the British Grand Prix, because actually before that, I wasn't that much of a fan of his. But wow, that's a fun... This along with the 96, I think, and the 93, I think, are the best lineups for the Arnold Classic.
He's John Pierre Fuchs, and he is a massive, I do mean massive, 280-pounder.
280 pounds, my God. He was a monster. I think by then, though, the stomach had already started to go. But I mean, that aside, Jean-Pierre Fuchs was an absolute monster. It's funny, though, because I think with Jean-Pierre Fuchs, his best year was his first year in 96. That was before the midsection started. His condition's not great from the back. What are they doing? Have they put this music over their posing music to stop for copyright? Right, okay, because obviously it's for the TV networks. That's a bit annoying. Hang on a minute, what's wrong with this editing? This is really annoying. Oh my God! I'm gonna get induce epilepsy. God. Right, okay, so I see what they're doing. This is for the TV network, so they're just editing it to get it into the time allowance, obviously, for the show. John Pierre looks fantastic here. Right, okay, let's just go on a little bit. Who's next?
Okay. The Arnold Rock and Roll Bodybuilding Championship.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. Oh, thing is, though, bench press does not mean sitting down to wait for a bus.
Welcome back to Arnold Rock and Roll Bodybuilding
This is bodybuilding shows as they would be on TV. This is how they've edited them to make them palatable for non-bodybuilding fans who watch TV. So I suppose this is how they... Arnold was really kind of at the peak of his career in 98. I think Total Recall came out in 1990. Terminator 2 came out in 91, and he was just hit after hit. Yeah, Don Long, fantastic arms, great shoulders. He was really good. It's a shame he had his kidney problems. I'll have to get Don Long on the show, actually. Yeah, let's get him on Global Muscle. Wow. Okay, so biceps are going up higher than his front delts in the raidable bicep. That's pretty impressive. Oh, this editing's a nightmare, isn't it? Was this necessary, or do you like it? You like it? You like that editing? The choppy editing with the... Oh, no. See, I'm a bodybuilding purist, you see. You prefer it like this. Oh, he's thrusting there a bit. I feel like they had the editing guy was on a trial, and he's trying to impress them with how many transitions and how many flashy graphics he can put in to appeal to people. Yeah, Don Long was good. Right, okay. Okay, let's go to the next one. Who's this? Oh, Vince Taylor. Fantastic. Yeah. Vince Taylor, for me, was one of the best posers. One of the best posers. He was the one who did the Terminator routine at the 91 Olympia. And it's funny because at the time I thought, after that routine at the 91 Olympia where he took third, he did the Terminator routine with the... I felt like bodybuilding posing would go up a level, but it kind of didn't. His arms are fantastic. And Vince now, what is he, in his 60s now, and he still looks absolutely fantastic. How old is he? Yeah, his arms are still huge. Still huge. I mean, there's a... thing is, he was actually quite I think he was 40 when he really started to... He's around 40 when he really started to make strides as a pro. So he was kind of a late starter, really. But he went on and on and on. I mean, he was competing right up till... I've got 2006. In 2006, he was still competing. I'm sure he did a pro show after that as well. I've got maybe 2010 in my head. Doing the Macarena. Cool. I don't like this editing. It's a bit annoying. The Arnold Classic, though, I've been to... The first one I've been to 11, 12, 13, 14... 18. I've been to about 6 or 7 Arnold Classics, and there's a real... It's such a good show. It's such a good show. Such a good production.
It's amazing considering he's over 40 years old. Well, from
Over,
Germany,
hey,
Roland Zerlock, he's
over
posing
40.
the music of Chopper 1.
The music of Chopper 1. Mike Adamley. I wonder what he's still doing. What he's doing now. He's still in TV presenting. Roland Sherlock, man. He's like Aaron Baker, another really underrated pro. His life... Yeah, oh my God, look at his back. His shoulders. Oh my God, he was such a freak. 94 Olympia, he never placed top 15. Go back and look at that footage. He did the most muscular. He was... I mean, there was guys in the top 6 that probably weren't as... No, that's 94 Olympia was pretty good. There's guys that are placed ahead of him that really shouldn't have. He was so underrated, this guy. His shoulders and back and his arms, it's just so tightly packed on there. Yeah, gotta get Roland Sherlock on the stage. On the show, sorry. I met Arnold... blood sugar still high. Was he on the splits? Yeah, I spoke to him backstage at the Amateur Olympia in 2015 in Liverpool. He was there, he had some clients or some competitors, he was prepping them. And he was with Patrick Tour, we're chatting. I think he speaks English, I think he does, I'm sure he does. But there's a guy I would definitely like to get on the show, because I won't, it's not for me to say, but he had a bit of a troubling time for many, many years. And I think it'd be an interesting story to hear, I think the viewers would like it. Yeah, he was fantastic. I just wish he'd gone on a little bit longer, maybe. I don't know.
He really knows how to prepare for competition. He really zeroes in for that one day, for this competition day.
Well, that's what we all do, mate, when we compete.
To be a competitive bodybuilder, copious amounts of dedication and perspiration are needed. Arnold, what is it like to prepare for a contest of this magnitude?
Mike, it's a full-time job. I mean, you work out from morning, noon.
Ooh, Flex Wheeler now. Let's go Flex Wheeler.
My name is Flex Wheeler. I'm a professional bodybuilder. I've been a pro bodybuilder since 1992.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, I'm going to say it now. That's more impressive than 93.
Actually, my first.
And he never, ever brought this Arnold Classic look. He never brought it to the Olympia, not even once. Even all those second places in 93, 97, 98. Sorry. Not 97, 98, 99 when he was second. He was third in 2000. And then he kind of fell away. Made a comeback in 2002 at the Olympia. Came back apparently drug-free. Still took 8th place. Or was it 7th? I was there at that one. But this, I think the 98 Arnold Classic, 2000 he looked very good as well because he won it 4 times. 93, 97, 98 and 2000. God, he's huge there. Whoa.
Basically, we push each other, trying to get
God.
But once we step on stage, then it's like,
Chris Cormier there. Very, very young Chris Cormier.
Try to knock me out. And once it's over, then it's back to being normal.
He just...
Bodybuilding, I really
yeah.
making means of making a living. But in 1989, when I won the California Championship, I found that you can make a living.
I'm just staring. I just can't believe it. He looks so good. Come on, let's get the posing routine going on.
As far as living in the outside world really doesn't matter to me. When I retire, then I can enjoy those benefits. But right now, I'm trying to do something that very few people have ever done before.
Yeah, won the Arnold Classic 4 times. Only Dexter Jackson beat his record. What's this, Arnold? What rocks the Rock and Roll Bodybuilding Championships?
Back with more of the 1998 Arnold Rock and Roll World
Right, okay, I think we're going to have a Flex Wheeler's posing routine now.
Flex Wheeler. Flex is a 2-time Arnold Classic champion from
93,
Roland Heights,
97.
California.
And Arnold, the question is, can he do what's never been done before? That's take the crown an unprecedented 3rd time.
Yep.
Let's go to the stage.
Well, Sean Ray arguably won it twice, but they failed the drug test in 1990, took his $60,000 off him. But he came back and won it legit in 91. But for me, well, he's two-time Arnold Classic champion. Wow. I don't know. I can't decide, actually. I can't decide whether this is more impressive than the slightly smaller 93, 280 pounds. Oh, look at that. Here's an Arnold Classic I wish I'd gone to. See, oh, they've got the camera angle right this time. When they took it off and it went to Hunter and Leela Brada backstage, I was like, oh, come on, guys. Oh, I hate this editing. Oh my God, that's incredible. If only he'd have brought that. If he'd have brought that to the Olympia, would he have beat Ronnie Coleman? I still don't think so. You think he would? Second. Yeah, he was second that year. He took second to Ronnie Coleman at the 98 Olympia. But he didn't look quite as good as this. He looks better here. He's more detailed. He's in better condition. I can't decide. I think Ronnie just, when it turned to the back, he was just so... It was so impressive. I mean, that's size, that's lines, that's classic. I mean, look at that. Holy shit. Yeah. It's a toss-up for me between 93 and 98, though.
Why? Because he's in top shape. He's really fantastically cut. He's big. His posing is good. It all depends now on the pose-off, on the final pose-off.
Well, not really, because I think Flex Wheeler's won this hands down, mate.
Flawless physique, 5'9", 230 pounds.
Okay. There's Jeff Long. Oh, for a few seconds. See, this was why the 212 was created for guys like Jeff Long, because they were going to shows like this. I know he's not in top condition, but they were getting absolutely destroyed. They won't even get, even if he had turned up totally shredded, would he have got a good looking? Probably not. So that's why they created the 212. Okay. I hate this editing. It's horrible. Horrible. Okay. Oh, well, I'm guessing Jeff was last. Oh, it's Darren Charles. This was in the Darren Charles mustache era. In fact, my best memory of Darren Charles is at the 2012 Masters Olympia in Miami, Florida. I was there. And his pose routine, he opposed to Sail by, I forget the name of the band. Sail. I won't sing it. Got this bloody awful rock music in my head. But his posing routine was absolutely phenomenal. It was good, a very aesthetic physique. Of course, I mean, he was second in the Classic Olympia. So it's this is a reason why the Classic, like 212 with Jeff Long, the Classic class really gave guys like this an opportunity to not have to feel pressured to go put so much size on that they lose those classic lines. So for the shorter guys, good for the 212. I mean, the 212 is really for guys under 5'5", really 5'5" or under. Very unusual to get a good 212 over that height. And with this, the Classic, I mean, I think looking at the size he is there, I mean, what is he? Do you think he's the same sort of thickness as Chris Bumstead? Breon? Do you think he's bigger? Because he can't be far off Classic. For his height there, I don't think he can be far off Classic. So long ago. 23 years ago. He's still in great shape. Saw a thing on Dan Solomon's Instagram, because apparently he was Dan Solomon's personal trainer at the start. So Dan has gone back to him to get some structure to his training. Obviously Dan Solomon, the Olympia promoter.
Like he can win this competition, you know, because he's not the biggest guy on the stage.
Oh, Arnold's dissing Durham. He's dissing Durham, saying he's not the biggest.
He really has a great posing routine, and he always pulls out some trick in the last minute, so you can see on a pose off.
Well, our next competitor.
Well, he's not going to make the pose down because he's not big enough for top six, is he?
1996 Australian Championships. He's Grant Clemesha from.
Let's watch a little bit Grant Clemesha. Yeah, this guy looks good. See, at the Arnold Classic, you always get one guy that looks great, is a complete relative unknown, that gets an invite, because the Arnold Classic's invite only, that kind of does himself justice, but they don't really get placed anywhere, but it's still good for them to do the show. And Grant Clemesha, he is, you know, because Australia's produced some very good bodybuilders, but it's like Morgan Asti at the Arnold Classic in 2020 turned up absolutely shredded beyond belief, in the best condition of the whole show, but pretty much gets last place because he's not a big name yet, and you know they're kind of at the beginning stages of their career. It looks great. Looks great. Probably one of the best conditions up there. He's better condition than Jeff Long, better condition than Darren Charles. I think Roland Sherlock's the one that's stuck in my mind in Flex Wheeler at the moment so far. Jean-Pierre, huge, but not his best. So I stand corrected on that one. Okay, let's go to the next. Who's this? Flex Wheeler again.
As far as foods that I eat, I'm a little fortunate because
God, I didn't realize Flex was this big.
So I'm really known for
And he's drawn in the face.
Cheeseburgers and hamburgers and stuff like that. And one of the other good
Where the
things
hell's
about
this?
coming here
Is
is
this
they
that's
have
not the
turkey
firehouse.
burgers and they have buffalo burgers. You know, so it's
Flex
really
Wheeler's
fun.
having his buffalo burgers.
I mean,
That's his secret.
you
Buffalo
wanna know
burgers.
that, you know, I junk out when it's not time to diet. I mean, I keep basically McDonald's and Burger King.
Oh, you didn't say that. I eat McDonald's and Burger King when I'm not dieting.
Right now, this is considered my 5th meal of the day. And
What's his 5th meal then?
my 5th meal for today. And what I'm having is 2 turkey patties and some mashed potatoes and just some pickles
Nice.
with sodium.
So he's eating what? Turkey, potatoes, and
so that when it
something
gets
else. I
closer
can't
to
see what that
the
is.
show, by dropping my sodium,
Pickles.
will give me like a diuretic effect. And this is my last time of the day that I'll have carbs, and that's about how much. So a couple of weeks. of
Pretty
that,
basic
and, you know,
diet
you're
there,
not really
Flex.
that active or in a good mood.
So there's more. Who's this?
Without that,
Why are they showing Flex Wheeler? He just showed him.
Bodybuilding, Joe Weider, and also
Wow, Joe Weider.
The incredible Hulk himself, Lou Ferrigno.
Lou Ferrigno.
Competed with him in the 70s. He's still
He did,
in
yeah.
fantastic shape.
Ah.
we come back.
Wow. I've been sat in the front row next to Arnold, you know, a few seats from Arnold. I always get a standing calf raise is not a rodeo event. You just know Arnold made these up, don't you? He's got a good sense of humor, Arnold. I always like that about him.
He is large and in charge. Nasser El Sombani.
Oh,
of
Nasser.
Yugoslavia. He came in second at last year's Arnold Classic, and this year, Arnold, he wants to win it all.
Well, yeah, it's a pretty good bet that he would think that he'd be winning this after... Why is he walking like that? We're second at the Olympia. I mean, looks bloody good here. And he did win. So he was second in 97. I'm guessing he was second here as well, but he won it in 99. He actually beat Kevin Levrone in that one. And that 99 Arnold Classic was Dexter Jackson's first ever pro show. He was 7th place. Tell you what, Nas looks good. I was never a fan of his physique, though. I like... He was good, but... not my cup of tea, really. I like Dorian's physique. I like the more... He was a mass... Oh, God, that editing's horrible. Did you see that boomerang editing? Yeah, he was impressive here. A friend of mine had over 20-inch calves, said he put his calves next to Nasser Sambati's in, I think it was around about 99, 2000. And he says, Giles, he said, I thought I had big calves. He says, but Nasser's were just, he said, they made mine look like twigs. Yeah, it looks good here. This was just before he started to do the site injecting. But, yeah, it looks good here. It does look good. Yeah, I think he kind of declined after he won the 99 Arnold Classic. Yeah, great chest. 96 Olympia, I thought it looked very good. He was 3rd there. Bloody editing.
Can you believe this size? I think he weighs around 280 pounds or so.
280 stone.
Cut is phenomenal.
And it's all packed on a 5'11"
So Arnold likes Nasser's physique.
Body. Up next, Aaron Baker of Venice,
Oh,
California.
here we go, Aaron Baker, one of my all-time favourites, the most underrated body. In fact, Ronnie Coleman on the other show I do with Ronnie said that he thought that Aaron Baker was highly underrated.
Former Mr. Europe. His name, Ian Harrison.
Ian Harrison, local lad. I know Ian very well. I met him when I was 15 at a supplement shop. And we watched the 91 Olympia together. He was doing an appearance there. And he was laughing when he saw Lila Brada's routine. He said, if I did that, he said, I'd go through the stage. Because Lila Brada did like a pirouette and then fell to the stage. He said, I'd go through the fucking stage if I did that, mate. He was good. Big guy. Very strong. He was pro at 20 years old. He won the 89 British Championships. He was 20 or 21, I think. He was the youngest IFBB youngest guy to turn pro in the UK. He looks a bit... I've seen him bigger. seen him bigger. He was bigger in 95. Looks like he's over dieted, or maybe. Yeah, I've seen him better than this. But, do you know what Sean Ray said about him once at a seminar I went to in Cardiff in 1995? Someone asked him in the audience, says, "What do you think about the British pro Ian Harrison?" Do you know what Sean Ray said? He said, "Man, that guy needs to do some curls." It's just this. That's what he said. I swear to God. And also, I asked Sean Ray about what he thought of Dorian Yates at on his 1991 UK tour after the 91 Olympia. And he said, "Man," he said, "that Dorian Yates is going to become I've got a feeling he's going to become a real thorn in my side." I was 15 years old. Yeah, I've seen Ian a lot better. Let's have a look. Let's go to the next one. Who's this? Oh, Chris Cormier. Yeah, Chris. Chris was really starting to make strides as a pro now. I've seen him harder. Oh, very interesting posing. Yeah, great midsection. I kind of think Chris was a little bit underrated at one point. At the start, when he first started competing, I thought he was overrated. And then I saw him at the 97 British Grand Prix. And he took second to Kevin Nerone, and Nasser was fourth, and Nasser had just placed second at the Mr. Olympia to Dorian Yates. I forget who was third. Was it Claremont or... I know Ronnie was fifth. Yeah. Was it Dillette? Might have been Dillette in third. Dillette third. Nasser fourth. Ronnie fifth. And I'm sure Lee Priest was sixth place. Yeah. Also in this episode, Chris Cormier. Yeah, does the ab roll. Lucas Sladle does that with his ass. Yeah. Always reminds me, I always think of Sushi when he says ass roll.
We've just seen 12 great performances.
12. Only 12 guys.
The work cut out for them. I wouldn't want to be a judge today.
Right, let's go to...
Just a little bit easier. They'll get one more.
Basically, all that I had on my mind.
So really, obviously this was edited post, but there's a lot of flex wheeler.
I've been to almost every country in the world at least 3 times over. So
wow, these are amazing days. Venice Beach, California.
I think it's bodybuilding is one of the sports that chooses you. You don't choose it.
Yeah, I'm not sure about those sunglasses, but he can get away with it because he's cool. Get in where you fit in. Olympia 98.
Ours is year-round. The first contest is in February, and the last one is in November.
3 months before the show.
Oh, that's his wife, Madeline.
I miss him so much when he's getting ready for a show.
Right, let's go on a little bit. Okay.
Get me the baby oil. I want to jump in there and pose too.
Arnold's getting excited. Go on, Arnold. Gluteus Maximus was not an emperor of ancient Rome. Gluteus Maximus. Oh, Arnold. We love you.
The judges are about to announce the 6 finalists. So let's go down to the
He's
main
cool,
stage.
isn't he, Arnold? I loved all his films. What's your favourite Arnold film of all time? Yeah. Yeah, it's Predator or Terminator 2. Not Terminator 3. Oh my God, that was so disappointing. But Terminator 1, Terminator 2 were incredible. Right, okay, so Darren Charles made top 6. Chris Cormier in top 6. God, look at Chris there. What a handsome chap. Jean-Pierre Fuchs. He's huge, isn't he? Keep that stomach in, Jean-Pierre. You're being judged. So I'm guessing Flex was first. Well, I know he's first. It's not a guess. I'm guessing Nasser was second. I'm thinking Vince Taylor third. Jean-Pierre was fourth. I'm sure Chris Cormier was fifth. And then that would make Darren Charles in sixth. So let's see if I'm right. I'm trying to go by memory here. You see, Flex Wheeler from the back was just flawless. Flawless. When he was on, if his glutes and his hamstrings were on, very, very... Only Ronnie Coleman could beat him in those poses. Fair play, Darren Charles getting top 6 though. See, Roland Sherlock maybe, I think maybe should have been in 6th. Yeah, to me, he's more impressive than Darren Charles. See, he's right. Jean-Pierre was right. He's not in great condition there. He is. He's a bit soggy from the back. I love watching all this old footage. Yeah. Go on, jump here. Give your cats a cuddle for me. There's 22 of them. Right.
First, early in the competition, 12 of the most muscular women in the world competed for their own title.
Oh, Miss International. Let's just give this a little look. I'm trying to remember who won this one. 98. Who won this one? Oh, Vicky Gates. Was it Vicky Gates? Ronnie Coleman's partner at the time. Wow, I remember all these female bodybuilders. I wonder where they are now. Is Andrula? Yeah, Andrula Blanchett. I used to train at a gym, Archway in London, when I used to work for Metrex and Dorian Yates back in '99. I used to go and talk to her sometimes on the exercise. She'd be on the sit-down exercise bike. She was so good. I'm struggling to remember the names now. Wow. Who's that? Is that Betty Pariso? That's Denise. Oh, what's her name? She used to do the porn. Oh, Denise. Oh my god, I can't remember her name. What? That one there, yeah, she did porn. I bought one of her magazines off her at the 2001 Olympia, and I asked her to sign it, and she looked at me like I was a pervert. And I didn't realise, I just bought it because I was there, and I opened it up, and it was porn. She was naked in it, with her legs spread. And I was like, well, don't look at me like I'm a pervert when you're selling this thing that you're in, that you've put together. I only asked her to sign it. She's like, ugh, get this pervert away from me. What was her name? The bloody... I got Rutikowski in my head, but it's not her. Oh, it's bugging me now. That's really bugging me. Right, come on then.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 6 finalists of the
Can't wait to go to the Arnold Classic again. Right, okay, 6th place, I'm guessing Darren Charles. Let's go on a little. Let's watch the pose down. You've got to watch the pose. Flex Wheeler walked this, didn't he? See, you've got someone like Nasser who's so much bigger, probably outweighs him by 40 pounds, but Flex has destroyed him here. Darren Charles in 6th, that was right. Chris Cormier 5th. He looks pissed off. Where's my check? Jean-Pierre Fuchs looks like he wants lunch. Chris Cormier, 5th place. That's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, he had a string of 2nd places at the Arnold Classic. I think it was an all-time record of 2nd place. Oh, he looks sad. He looks sad as well. Come on, guys, smile. At the Arnold Classic. You can see his pectail there. Come on, then.
2nd runner-up.
Look how happy he is. He's happy he got 3rd. I love Vince Taylor. He's a cool dude. Who's 2nd? I wonder. NASA. Yeah, and he won it the year after, so he had 2 2nd places in 97 and 2nd in 98, and then he eventually won it in 99, looking probably some of his best ever. Wow, look at that. I can't believe they didn't show the pose down. Look at that. Yeah, I remember seeing the pictures and they had like a purple lighting on him and he just didn't look real. He looks so phenomenal.
3 times that you won the
That's Joe Weider.
What was it the day that made you get over the top?
I truly think the athlete wins a contest before he gets there, because once he gets on stage,
mate, you won it. You won it the morning you looked at yourself in the hotel room and went, yeah, I'm bang on.
It's my training, my nutrition.
He looks so good here. What a beautiful physique that is. Classic lines, a lot bigger than he was in 93. Absolutely incredible.
Congratulations, I hope you're back for the 4th time.
And he did. He came back in 2000 and he won it. So there you go. Right, can you just turn the volume down a little bit? Volume on that. Right, okay then. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this retro review for the 1998 Arnold Classic. Guys, and we will be doing another one next week in the next episode of MD Glove Muscle, and we are out.
Really introduce you into the contest, whereas if you look at Health and Strength, which was the main, NABA magazine then, there was more text than there was photographs, you know.
And Iron Man magazine was like that too. It was more about training information and not as glamorous as Joe's magazine.
Yeah, yeah.
John, who was your favorite photographer from back in the 1960s going into the 70s?
Well, Art Zeller was great, of course. He shot all the gym shots.
Yeah.
And without Art, we wouldn't have had those fantastic, really like real training photos. He would just come into the gym with his camera and they wouldn't even know he was there. And he was just shooting these guys when they were training. But then you had Jimmy Caruso, who was at the competitions. And Jimmy took some great photos also. And he also took a lot of great studio shots with Joe probably supervising. So both of those guys were legendary photographers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Jimmy Caruso. So there was classic shots of, you know, Arnold, Frank Zane, Franco Colombo, Rick Wade, all in the trunks lined up backstage with Joe. I mean, they are classic. You know,
Yeah.
Artie Zeller, I mean, like John says, I mean, he worked at the post office. He used to go in before he started work, capture the guys. But the great thing was, the lighting in goals was absolutely phenomenal. It had a big skylight.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost a perfect storm that you had this tremendous lighting, these tremendous bodybuilders, and this really committed photographer who came to capture it. And those shots still, you know, in many ways inspire me more than shots I've seen since. You know, really do.
Yeah.
What was your favorite front cover from the mid to late 1960s? From any magazine,
Well, one of my favorites was Mike Menser as Hercules, you know, with the sheepskin thing on a pillar. That was really classic. That was tremendous. You know, that's one you've just asked me out of the blue and I remembered it like that.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
John?
You know, Robbie Robinson was another one. You know, some of the close-ups of him, you know, just a single bicep were phenomenal.
And then you had some great Arnold training shots taken by Art Zeller, like when he had the arm blaster on, he's screaming.
Yes. Was that a color shot? That was a color shot, wasn't it? Was that a color shot that they turned black and white?
Cover shots, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. And then he did another one where he was doing a single tricep extension. But, you know, you just see Arnold training, you know, at his all-out intensity, and those were great shots.
Okay, let's talk about probably arguably one of it has to be the most iconic bodybuilding rivalries of all time, Sergio Oliva versus Arnold Schwarzenegger. Tell us about that. Tell us your thoughts.
Well, first of all, they only met 4 times, which is really a crime. And me and Peter have talked about this before. They really should have competed a lot more. The first time was in 1969 when Sergio was the reigning Mr. Olympia. He had already won it twice. And then Arnold came in to challenge him, and Sergio beat him. And it looked really close. And I think it was close by the judges. But Arnold in his book said Sergio destroyed him, and he beat him all the way. Mm-hmm. The next year, they competed. They were supposed to compete in the Olympia again to have a rematch. But before that, they competed in a Mr. World contest, which was held in Columbus, Ohio, promoted by Jim Lorimer, who Arnold at that time did not know.
Okay.
And Jim was a promoter for the AAU. So the contest was not an IFBB contest. It was a professional AAU Mr. World contest. And it was held with the World Weightlifting Championships, where I believe Vasily Alexiev from Russia, for the first time, lifted 500 pounds over his head. So that was a really momentous occasion.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
It was filmed for ABC Wide World of Sports, and Arnold beat Sergio. And they said one of the reasons was they had these really strong stage lights that the television crew set up so they could film it for television. And Sergio used to put a lot of oil on him, and they said the oil was shining off him, and he looked smoother than he was. So Arnold beat him. And then they met, like, I think 3 weeks later in New York for the Mr. Olympia, and then Arnold beat him again, and that's where Arnold dethroned him, and he won the Mr. Olympia. And then, as Peter said, in 1971, Sergio was disqualified because he competed in that Napa universe. So then he actually went over to Paris to compete against Arnold in the Olympia, and they wouldn't allow him to compete. They let him guest pose on stage. And then the following year was the big one in 1972 in Essen, Germany, and that's still controversial to this day. A lot of people thought Sergio should have won because he was in really top shape, and Arnold, I think, was a little bit off. So that they only met 4 times. And then after that, Sergio was so pissed off he lost in 72 that he never went back to the IFBB until, of course, 1984 when he made his comeback.
Yeah, it's worth saying that, Arnold did involve himself in a bit of codology. When he beat Sergio at the Pro Mr. World, they went out for dinner that night. And Sergio said, I don't think it was heavy enough. And Arnold said, no, I don't think you were. Well, he was too heavy. So he put a few pounds on for New York and lost the title. And then, if you go forward to 72, which was really, really controversial, they went into a back room for the pre-judging. And Arnold said, this room is too small. We need some more room. And they went into a bigger room, which had dark walls. And it's always said that the dark walls, Sergio blended into that and didn't stand out so much. And Ricky Wayne made a big thing about it, that nobody mentioned colour, but colour was very important in that pre-judging. He was obviously, Rick was very controversial about that. What did he say? Well, it's generally agreed that colour had everything to do with the 1972 Mr. Olympia. Only Arnold mentioned paint, I mean, Arnold was the master technician, tactician, in psyching people out. But Sergio, like John says, was so pissed off with it. That was him done for 12 years with the IFBB.
Yeah.
But it was a rivalry that deserved to have more outings, really,
Yeah.
But, I know we go back to Rick Wayne, but I mean, he was always of the impression that Sergio was the best bodybuilder, the better bodybuilder of the two, if you took them into isolation. But Arnold had the better championship mindset. He wouldn't get distracted. I mean, like that first year, he was totally honest with himself. I can't beat this guy today. He's got me wrapped around his finger. That's quite honest for a bodybuilder to say, to sort of almost give up before he even started, but then drove himself on to be better and better to the point where he was able to beat Sergio.
What was the score? I mean, you're saying, John, that there was they only competed together 4 times. What was the score to who?
3-1, Arnold 2.
Yeah.
But a lot of people thought Sergio should have beat him in 72. So if he would have beat him there, it would have been 2-2.
Yeah. So who in your opinion was better?
I agree with Peter. I think Sergio really was the better bodybuilder. He had everything. He was one of the very, very few bodybuilders that had every single body part, from his forearms to his calves. He had huge thighs in an era when a lot of guys didn't have legs. He had that tiny waist, big back, huge chest, huge arms. His arms were bigger than his head. You had to see Sergio in person to really comprehend it. I remember the first time I saw him pose in person.
What year was that?
I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then you used to see him in the lobby at these competitions, and he had that shirt sleeve with the cut, so his arms would fit in his shirt sleeve. And he had the tiny waist, and he was just so big everywhere else. This is way back. This is in the 70s, early 80s. This is before growth hormone and synthol and insulin. There was very few guys with 20-inch arms, and Sergio had all that mass, and he had that tiny waist. He was just an incredible, incredible bodybuilder. But Arnold knew how to beat him, and Arnold analyzed his posing. He would analyze like what poses Sergio did in a row, and he knew that Sergio's weakness was he had this big ego, and he liked to be big. So like Peter said, when they had that, they all went out to eat after the Mr. World contest. And Sergio said, "I can't believe you beat me." And Arnold told him, "If you would have been a little bit bigger, Sergio, I never would have beat you." And that fed right into Sergio's ego. And he went out and he ate for a couple more weeks. And by the time they showed up in New York, Arnold beat him. So Arnold knew how to trick him, I guess, or play to his weaknesses.
Yeah, the thing with Sergio was, I mean, his muscles were absolutely massive. And that was compounded by the size of his joints and the size of his head, let's be honest,
Yeah.
His bone structure, accentuated the size of him. And I mean, I have a very personal memories of Sergio from 1971 at the Universe when Bill Pearl beat him. And I've rarely told this story before, so you have an exclusive, Mr. Thomas, for what it's worth. You know, he lost the contest, and me and a couple of friends, John Courtney and Les Wright, we followed Sergio out to a London cab, and he's sitting in the back of the cab waiting for his entourage to arrive. And he was really pissed, you know. He was complaining. And Les said, "What's the matter, Sergio? Can't you take a licking?" And he said, "I got beaten by a fat pig, a fat pig." Yeah. And he was really vitriolic about the whole thing, you know. And then his entourage came and they whisked him away. And Wag Bennett, who was a sort of a doy on a British bodybuilding at the time, and his wife Diane, they were outside when he scooted off. And Wag was saying that Bill Pearl was a deserved winner, and that if he had a son like Sergio, he said this, "If I had a son like Sergio, I'd shoot him." And I said, "Maybe you'd think of shooting Diane first." You know? So later that night, Wag was arranging seminar tours for Sergio, so it all sort of hit the wash. But I do remember Sergio being absolutely vitriolic about that. But like John said, he had this appearance, you know, the short sleeves, the little pork pie hat, as we call it, the high-waisted trousers up to here. Yeah. I mean, he just looked like something from outer space, you know, and the size of his arms just hanging there, you know.
Giles, I was competing in Chicago when I was a teenager, and I was in the 1980 Central USA contest, and Sergio used to show up at these shows and just watch them and maybe hand out trophies. So he would always show up late, and I was on stage competing in the teenage. They would always start with the teenage and then do the junior division, then the open division. And this is before women's bodybuilding or anything, you know, before all the other classes. So I was standing off in the wings watching one of the guys pose, one of the teenagers, and Sergio walked in the door to the auditorium. The whole place turned around and looked and said, "There's Sergio, there's Sergio." The whole place was looking at Sergio as he walked down the aisle, and he was just waving to everybody like the king walking down the aisle. And everybody started clapping. And the poor guy on stage, they weren't even looking at him. You know, but I mean, where would you ever? It's like a movie. If a movie star walked into an auditorium, I don't think he got that kind of reception. But that's how highly regarded he was, especially in Chicago where he lived. He was the myth. He was he was the king. You know.
So you think the rivalry really? Do you think they brought out the best in each other or the worst in each other?
Oh, I think they brought out the best of each other. Don't you, Peter?
Yeah, it certainly brought out the best in Arnold. I mean, Sergio, I'm not so sure of, you know, that he did look upon it as being political and that he'd been screwed, you know, and could never get away from that. I mean, to be honest with you, I worked with Sergio in later years and found that it without being disrespectful, you know, Arnold would take advantage of every opportunity for advancement and publicity he could get. Sergio was always a bit suspicious. You know, he brought out a book like 94 and his manager got me to do a review and then interview Sergio. Sergio didn't really want to talk about it. You know, he didn't want to promote his own book. I had to keep calling him and then he wasn't there. And then, you know, he'd say, nobody wants to talk about that. Arnold was the ace promoter, showman. That's what made him a great movie star. He wasn't a Robert De Niro hiding away. If he was on a film, he was doing a 20-city tour to tell you all about the film. He loved being in front of that crowd and promoting himself and whatever he was doing. Sergio never had that same drive and was always a bit suspicious that people were taking advantage of him.
Would you say it's the greatest bodybuilder rivalry of all time?
I would say right up there, yeah. I mean, because you had two genetic giants competing in the same era, and they were both very similar in a way. They had big egos. You could even call them, I guess, arrogant a little bit. And but like Peter said, Arnold was the smarter one. He knew how to take advantage of every situation, where Sergio was always suspicious of everybody, and he always thought he was being screwed over. And, you know, when Joe Weider brought Arnold over here to America, Sergio looked at it like, this is Joe's golden child, and he's never going to let me beat him, even though Sergio believed that he had the better body. So it's too bad that Sergio couldn't keep his head together a little bit more, because they would have had a lot more greater battles, and we kind of worked that.
Yeah, I think it probably has to be looked upon as the most intense rivalry. I mean, it could have ended up as it ended. It could have ended up 2-2, and then they would have gone for a fifth meeting in '73, which would have been climactic, you know.
And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we're joined for this very special, all the way from California, I think, Chris Cormier, Melvin Anthony. Yes! Hello, guys.
What's up?
What's up?
Melvin. Now, Chris, you're turning into a bit of a co-host, mate, aren't you?
That's right, brother. That's right. So let's bring it on, baby. Let's bring it.
Yeah.
Oh, you co-hosted that, or you a co-hosted?
Yeah, man. Don't worry about that.
I ain't worried about it. That's okay. I ain't worried about it. Look at you.
Melvin, you're looking very relaxed there, mate. Looking very relaxed on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, very, very relaxed. I had a spot of tea this morning. You know, cheers, everybody. Cheers. Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, you gotta say cheers like Peter McGough. Cheers. Cheers, mate. Mateys.
Oh, man.
I'm relaxed this morning.
Hey, so what you been up to, man? What's happening, brother? Let's start. Can we start from the beginning?
Yes.
Oh, how far back we got to go?
Yeah. Let them know how do we meet? Do you remember?
Man, I'm gonna tell you how we met. Cause see, he knew. Look, Chris and them know to call me because he know I'm gonna cut up. I'm gonna keep it real. So that's all the BS. Yeah, first time I met Chris. First of all, Chris's cousin. He has a cousin. Chris got a big ass family. Okay, and all of them big. So you know, if you go to Chris' house, everybody big. Ain't gonna be no thin.
Right.
Everybody athletes. When you go off over there, it's a bunch of linebackers. You know what I'm talking about? A bunch of giants. Except Rock. Rock is the runt. So Rock is in our fraternity, and he was all talking about, he was, trying to get bigger and all this sort of stuff. And I'm a Sigma Pi fraternity. So, him coming in, I was like, okay, yeah. He said, I got a famous cousin. You don't know nobody. Man, my cousin is Chris Cormier. I said, bullshit. You don't come over here with that bullshit. He's like, no, I'm telling you, I know that's my cousin. I was like, call him right now then, nigga. Call him right now. So, okay. He said, okay. I'm going to call him right now. I said, call him. If you lying, I'm going to beat you up. He's like, man, because, he's my fraternity. He's a pledge. So since you under me, I'm going to whoop your ass. So he's like, he called Chris Cormier. So Chris called Chris on the phone. He said, what's up, cousin? Man, I almost fell down. He said, you want to talk to him? I think about it. I didn't know it. No. He's like, man, this thing. I said, what's up, bro? He said, man, it's Chris Cormier, man. Rocky's my cousin. I said, no bullshit. He's like, yeah, man. I said, you famous, man. I'm going to come get your autograph. He's like, man, you come down and see me anytime. I was like, for real?
For real?
Yeah. So I said, he gave me the digits, and I went on down there and met Chris.
What year was that, guys?
That was, I want to say 1993.
Wow.
1993. Yeah.
Before, what year did you do the Cal? You did the Cal.
I did the Cal. I won the Cal '96.
Okay.
So by the time I want to say it was probably I met Rock in 90. I want to say 94, not 94, because I was already with John.
Yeah.
And so when I got down there, it was right before 96. It was right before I did the Orange County and Cal. And so then I had talked to Chris. So by the time I went, he said, well, go ahead and do your show. He said, like, you got a good physique, you know what I'm talking about? And then, come by and holler at me. So I went ahead and did the Orange County. And I beat when I talk about I whooped they butt, I've always been an underdog. I was light, talking about I'm too small. I'm a light heavyweight. I'm this and that. I ended up whooping their ass in Orange County in 96. And then a week later, here comes Sean down behind, talking about, you need to just drop down into a light heavyweight. I say, nobody trying to be like you. I don't want to look like you. I'm trying to win everything. I'm going back in there. I'm going to go to the same thing I did this week. Well, it's kind of difficult to hold your size until next week. I ain't listening to you anyway, midget. So whatever. So the next week, I went into the Cal and whooped their ass again and won the whole thing. So I won the Orange County overall, and then I won the Cal overall. You know what I'm talking about? And John Brown had already told me, Sean Ray ain't going to talk to you until you win something. So when I won the Orange County, here comes Sean trying to tell me what to do. So after I won the Cal, that's when Brock was talking about, you need to go down there and see my cousin. You know, he said you can go down there. I was like, nah, man, you don't come with me. I got to go to work. So I had to go down there by myself. So after I didn't want the Cal, right after the Cal, Chris said, come down. Chris was down there in Fountain Valley.
Yeah, so that's where we trained at the Powerhouse Gym. I was starting to get ready for the Olympia.
Yeah.
Then I was just taking them. We started working out, doing a little posing. We was even in my room, my living room, in my apartment. We started doing like some working on just little stuff here and there for different routines and stuff. But
tweaking.
You know, tweaking little stuff and just like chalking it up and grabbing some food and just getting to know each other, man.
Let me tell you about that. See, Chris be trying to leave shit out. I'm gonna put his ass on blast.
Me leave shit out.
He trying to leave shit out. Look, when I got to the gym, right? So just imagine you going down there to see, like, you know what I'm saying, the real Mike Tyson or somebody. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And you ain't never been in a man face, and this man telling you to come off over there by yourself. So you don't know what to expect. So I'm like, you know, when I pulled in, I walk in the gym, I just seen this big mother. I was like, God damn, that fool was swole up. He bigger than a damn magazine. You know what I'm talking about? I'm in awe, but I'm not home. You know what I'm talking about? Because I'm from the street. We don't do no flossing and flying behind nobody. So when I walked in there, he was doing pull-ups, right? Now, mind you, Chris ass was at the time was like 260 something. I'm not 265 or something. He was huge, right? He doing pull-ups like it ain't nothing, just up and down, up and down. Come, we gonna start with these. We gonna start with those. Okay. So I'm used to getting them hard workouts. You know what I mean? If I'm with your John Brown workouts, them old school, just beat your ass kind of workouts, like, you know, can't breathe and it's always your set. So Chris has a different approach. You know what I'm talking about? He go to failure and then he want to talk to you while he whooping your ass. So he's like, okay, keep going. But he's talking to you while I'm doing pull-ups. First of all, I'm trying to concentrate on what he's saying. I'm at like
well, you said you wanted it. You said you wanted it. I don't know.
He said, I'm gonna see y'all. I want to see how bad you want it. So I'm doing that. I went through his whole workout, but I'm dying. Mind you, I had just finished competing. You know what I'm talking about? And he's doing a video, and I walk into it. I didn't know I was walking into a photo shoot. You know what I'm talking about? So Chris is doing a photo shoot. I walk in. I was like, dang, I'm doing a movie already. Dang, I'm already doing a movie already.
Doing a movie. Yeah, Mitsuru was there. Mitsuru did that.
Yeah, Mitsuru was there.
Battle for the Olympias.
Yes, Mitsuru Okabe. And he says, man, you have good physique. You have good physique. And I kept going height, because that's the only word I knew in damn Japanese. Height, like yes. So he's like, I speak good English. You can talk to him straight. So Chris turns to the camera and he says, you know what they say about people who win the Mr. California? They always go pro. I said, in my mind, I'm like, this nigga's crazy. This I just finished winning a contest and after he talking about I'm going pro. So my mind, he blew my mind with that. You know what I'm talking about? Because John Brown already said, you know, you're going to go pro. You listen to everything he tell you. You do what you're supposed to do. You're going to go pro. So to hear it coming from another pro who was actively competing, I was like, well, how am I going to do that? He's like, don't worry. I'll explain it to you. See, John had a different approach. John Brown was a do what I say kind of guy. Chris was more, I'm going to tell you why I'm doing it. So after the show, after we got done doing the little photo shoot, he's like, let's go get something to eat. You ever had sushi before? In my mind, I'm like, what? No. No, we ain't gonna do the what? Raw fish? That's how I'm talking about eating some coochie or something, but you talking about raw fish? No. He's like, well, we're gonna take you over to the restaurant, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you how to spot. Yeah, mind you, now Chris didn't do like he do other people. Chris usually will graduate you in. I found this out years later.
Yeah.
Chris ass just put some damn raw stuff in front of me and said, eat it if you want to get big. Nasty ass yellowtail. The first chew, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. But I ended up you know what I'm saying? And then after we got done eating, Chris was like, you know, I don't do that to everybody, but you know, you go hard, bro. You a little gangster, but you did that. You ate it all. Right.
The thing is, you can ask Dexter this. I introduced Dexter to sushi, but I had Dexter go with the
California roll.
With the tempura, shrimp tempura roll, and also Jay. Ask Jay Cutler.
Right.
I turned him on to that when he came to Muscle Tech, and I had a plate load of a whole platter of sushi for everybody to start eating and stuff. And so Jay got on it.
Everybody eats sushi because of Chris. Everybody eats sushi. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I take him through the ropes, Giles.
Yeah, by the sounds of it, yeah. So,
but I put him right on the pro status already.
Everybody's always done that to me. They just throw me in there like a pit bull. So, everybody did that to me.
So, Chris, you obviously saw the pro potential in Melvin. So, even from when he won the Cali.
Yeah, for sure. Because he had a really small waist, and he had the dancing background, had the work ethic already in place. So all he needed to do is keep plugging away and putting the pieces together. From the workouts and why and just the methods that we was putting in front of him. He was he was knocking them out the park, and then we started making trips on up to Venice. I moved up to Venice eventually, but he was he came around, had some days he was frustrated and wanted to just say, to hell with it.
Look, he tried to
I need to go back and hustle. I need to go back and hustle. Forget this, man. And I was just always like this little brother in the guy, just like, no, man. No, this is what's going to happen. This is what you're going to do. And this is how you're going to do it type of thing. And, but he always pulled his bootstraps up and hung in there and, found himself, being able to, become a legendary figure himself.
Yeah. So where did the body popping come from? What's the background on that?
I've been dancing since I was a baby. I've been dancing since I was like, little kids, when they usually, coming into life, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not no, separatist or color lines. No, I don't have no color lines. So, but there are people that learn different ways, you know what I mean? So my family is very singing background, dancers, track guys, basketball guys. But me particularly, I've always been into muscles. I was always into Superman and Hercules. And, when the dance music came on, they used to be like, get it, Junior. Usually when you see a kid dance at a young age, they just kind of bob their head,
Yeah.
Just bob, or you see a kid do that, But me, they say, Junior, get it. I would jump up and you would see me shaking my booty. You know what I mean? I was doing this as a kid. Yeah, so she was like, that little boy, every time you hear music, I jump in front of everybody and just show out. And I've always been that way. My background is break dancing and pop locking. When those movies came out, see, I was running down to Venice back in the day. And at about 11 or 12, we used to have like breakdance crews. Back then, competitions were really big back then. We used to wear the big puffy pants, and we used to tie the pants up at the ankles, you know what I mean? Boogaloo.
MC Hammer style.
It's before him.
Oh,
before
wow.
Yes, before he had those pants, he got from before that. See, those were boogaloo pants. Those were like, you know what I mean, pop locking pants, And so that when we picked that up, I used to go down to Venice once a year. My mom used to take us down to Venice Beach, and I ran into a guy named Flat Top. Yeah, and a lot of Ruben. Yeah, remember Ruben? Yeah. So Ruben's the name was Flat Top. And he was out there all the time, and he was always making money. And instead of me going swimming and boogie board and all that, looking at chicks, I was going down there. I want to see him perform, and I sat down there and watched him all day. And I pick up moves, and after he said, "Come here, boy." He said, "You look like you can get down. Show me something." Put the music on in front of everybody, and I got down. He was like, "Boy."
Wow.
He said, "Boy." He said, I'm like, I'm all. He said, "How old is you?" I said, 13. He said, "Come on and buy me a pizza." Buy me a pizza. Man, shoot. I ain't had no money neither. I was like, okay. He took me to give me some pizza, and he was like, "I'm going to show you how to do this layback." Now, one of my famous moves that you see me do on stage, you see me lay my body all the way back.
Yeah, the Matrix.
Yeah, it's the Matrix. So that Matrix, I got that from Flat Top. Now you'll see another move that I usually do. Another move I used to always on stage shake my legs at the same time.
Yeah.
I stole that from Chris.
Did you?
Chris showed me. So I seen Chris do it in one time.
I remember I did that at one show, but I only did it at one show. He kept doing it. Like he just took it over. I thought, okay, I'm not gonna. When somebody's eating your favorite ice cream, or like, okay, I'm just gonna pick another flavor there because you just took that. That's what happened with that.
I did take
like,
that.
All right, Melvin. I see.
Yeah,
and you take the belly roll.
Oh, I was just about to say, did he try the ab roll?
But I never gave up on the belly roll. Like, you're not taking the belly roll. I'm doing that up and down. I'm going back and forth with my.
I tried to steal it from B. I couldn't take that one from him. I still roll my stomach, but I can't do it like
Jones, we had a mutiny. We had a mutiny on that one, man. He was like, I'm taking that.
Yeah, and I was always taught to just go after people. And Chris never let me, be negative. I come from a street background, man. I came from the street, so a lot of times I want to deal with things a certain way. Chris would never let me. Nah, man, you can't do it this way. You got to be about like John say, man. You want me to call John? Listen. You can't do it that way. You can't respond that way because I'm usually respond to, if somebody challenges you or somebody does something to you in the gym, you bring your ass to the grass and get it. In Great Britain, I'm sure you guys have the same profile. You get hit me, I hit you back. But in the sport, there's a different way of doing things, and Chris showed me a lot of things about that. As far as how to be a man, how to be a man in the sport, and how do you dictate, how do you do certain things in front of the audience. There's a way you act in front of the audience, and there's another way you act. We were
sort of the time we spent together. We had a lot of laughs and jokes.
Tears.
Also being like brothers, brothers get into it sometimes. Yeah. They get upset with each other, But then we always hashed it out in some kind of way down the road. So it was always good though. He knew my family, my mother, my father. Cooked for him many times, and we just had a good little relationship, So
yeah, I can tell you some stories, man. I mean, Chris is. People think Chris is not real slick, smart. Because he don't talk a lot. Chris is a deep hole. If you get he observed everything. Like one time, like they always used to be like, well, Chris was he'll disappear on you now. Chris will disappear on your ass now. He won't answer his phone.
Melvin.
Shut up, dog. I'm talking down shit. Here. But if you ask anybody in this sport,
Black Prince disappear.
He just I'm not saying disappear like go hide. You just couldn't get a hold of him. If he didn't want you to
you know where I was.
Nobody knew where he was. But anybody
Why?
called and say Melvin. They'll say Melvin, you can work Chris at. I can find Chris anywhere. If I can find Chris anywhere, they say anybody who can find Chris, they say call Melvin. Melvin will find him. I knew right where. I knew his habits. I knew where he were. I knew where he trained. I knew where his girls was at. I called him one time at his girlfriend's house. Look, I pulled up. How you find me, boy? I think I know.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm on the beach lounging. Here come Melvin. I knew I'd find you here.
Creature of habit.
Hey, that's a true story though. He was doing that to me all the damn time. I'm like, I'm in the most random place because sometimes I'll like. In my mind, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to go pick up a magazine. I'm going to get some food. I'm going to do this. And I ended up doing something totally different from what I was trying to do or set out to do. And Melvin and found me where I'm set out to go, and I didn't even plan to go there. And then Melvin was there. So, yeah, true story.
Yeah, true story. Sometimes he called me at like 1 o'clock in the morning. He'd be like, man, I'm bored, man. Let's play some Madden. I would drive all the way from where I was just to go out there and play.
Play what we playing? What we playing?
Madden football on PlayStation.
Oh, okay. What year was that then? What kind of what year?
I would say, that
was throughout because I'm telling you, here's the thing though. Even when I would compete and all that stuff, I always brought my PlayStation. So we was always even with Dexter, we'd be getting down on that PlayStation. Missouri had filmed a few of these, but we got some lost tapes out there, but. We had some good games that we even have on video.
Crazy game.
Was that PlayStation 1? Was that PlayStation 1, was it? Or
Chris had the first PlayStation. Chris had the first PlayStation. Everybody had it.
So I never stopped playing since I was 8 years old, dude. So
yeah,
that's one thing you got to understand about me. I'm never going to stop. I'm not a quitter.
Okay. Don't say nothing bad about them Cowboys. Chris tried to fight. So say nothing about them Cowboys and don't beat it with that team because then you're gonna have a fight on you and kick everybody out the house.
Hey, Giles, you guys know about the football clubs and how everybody loved their football team so much that they're willing to do whatever. Right? Whatever. Because I was talking to Dorian about that out there in England. That said they they got to the point where they would be fighting before the game even started, right?
Before the game started.
Bus
And
loads.
then they start using. They start using mobile phones and like because the police got onto that one, and then they try to like make a place to meet up somewhere else, right? Am I right, Giles?
Yep, correct. Yeah. It's huge in the UK.
Yeah,
Hundreds of people fighting.
Funny. Yeah, Dorian's another story. I love Dorian to death, man. Dorian calls me Talking Boy.
Talking Boy.
He said, man, even when your little ass is dieted down and tired and you still don't know how to shut the fuck up. Okay, Talking Boy. So he calls me Talking Boy. I remember one time, we was in Chris took me to not Dubai. We went to Qatar. And then let me tell you about this. This
is like right after the bombing, right? So
this is right before they bombed it. This is right before they bombed it.
No, this is right after, brother. Listen. Because I was already going.
Right.
So when the 9/11 happened, we was already set to go, and I was like, man, I'm still going because I was like, when I passed out in Mexico, I saw my grandmother. She told me it's not my time, so I'm going. I'm like,
and that's what Chris told me. This is what Chris told me. He had a dream, right? Okay, you're right. They had just finished bombing that place off over there, right?
Yeah.
So Chris had set up this whole thing. Like they had talked about it. He called me. So I'm finna call Melvin because Melvin ain't scared of shit. I'm finna call Melvin. So Melvin,
you want this money? I was like, you want these $5 racks?
Yeah. That's how you see it. That's how you play. This is how Chris get my ass. Look, he said, you want to make some money? He said, I told you I'm gonna put you in there. I got you at all times. I said, what you talking about? He said, man, I want you to come out there and shake a leg, man, Qatar. I said, where the fuck is that? He said, way out in the Middle East. Where they who bombing? He said, man, look, money good though. I said, well, how much money they talking? He said, man, about 5 G's. $5,000 for me was like a 500,000. I said, what? They gonna give you a whole. He said, yeah, everything gonna be taken care of. You ain't got to worry about nothing. He said, you ain't, Chris, like
first class. First class
like,
wow.
First class. So he said, first class flight. I said, okay, Chris. He said, man, look, it ain't gonna be no shenanigans, because I know you can hold your own. I said, but I ain't worried about them. I'm rolling. So it was me, Chris, Craig Titus, Dorian Yates, and somebody else. Everybody else was scared to go. Everybody else was like, no, Chris, I ain't going off over there, man. They ain't finna kill me. So Craig Titus tell me at the time, this is when me and Craig Titus was cool. He said, hey, man, I don't know, man. You think I'm gonna be safe? I said, I know I'm be safe because they ain't killing us. They killing y'all. I look like they ass.
It was cool. It was just, that was my first time going to the Middle East, and I was just like, we was on and being American and never being in an environment like that with the desert and the huge gyms and all the food and all that stuff. It was just like, because everybody on the plane had, they was dressed up in the garment. I don't know what they call it.
That's why I got nervous. That's what I got.
We was like, wait a minute. We were like, wait a minute. As an American and an ignorant American, not knowing or been in that type of environment ever, right after the bombing, it was kind of shocking. We was like, man, it was like, whoa.
We was ready to look. Me and Chris were ready to do something. We was ready to do something. They got people was getting up. Look, they was getting up, going to the bathroom with their regular clothes on, and coming out the bathroom with that la 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 la. I said, man, hey man. What the hell is they doing? I'm thinking they finna change for their cleansing. They finna blow this plane up. I was like, everybody got on these outfits and they ain't saying that and they starting to do their prayers.
Yeah, no one said anything.
I was scared.
Hey, but we were taking our shirts off and posing and all that. We were doing some posing. There's some photos out there too.
Yeah.
We was posing, had our shirt off on the plane in the first class. Right.
What was this like? What was this? October, November 2001, after the Olympia.
It was exactly 5 weeks before the Olympia.
5 weeks before. Because I flew to the 2001 Olympia, and obviously that was only a few weeks after 9/11. And I remember that every bit of turbulence. It was a very paranoid, very kind of very strange time, wasn't it? So you were flying the other way. You were flying the other way.
Yeah. We
flew the other way.
So imagine flying the other way.
Yeah.
And people going to the bathroom, changing their clothes, and coming out with their outfits. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell? They better not try nothing, or we gonna tear this plane up. Believe me, we were scared.
But we never been in. I never flew that far in first class. But it was like I knew there because how people have their pajamas on, and then they'll go back into their clothes they had on. So, but to us, they was like doing something different. We didn't know what.
Yeah, we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know what was going on.
But we were there for like a week, and we had like, if you order something, they sprinting down the hallway with your food to bring it to you. Then they sprinting back to get your to pick up your food after you're done. It was like the service was just impeccable, though.
It was crazy. It was too much. I told Chris.
But the thing is, though, if you don't remember, Melvin, we was totally segregated from the women, so we wasn't used to that either. So we was like, man, it was like, well, this is a trip, right?
Was that stressful?
Yeah, it was kind of stressful, dude. It affected us for sure.
Yeah.
Because I remember we went to go get a massage, thinking we were gonna get a Thai massage for some Thai ladies or something. I said, let's go get a massage. And then it happened to be all men in there, right?
Oh, no.
And so I was like, damn.
When they came back, I was telling Chris, I was like, hey, man, these waiters keep bothering me, man. I don't know what to do. Every time I open the door, these guys are at the door, man. You know, and every time I leave to go get something to eat, they be changing my shoes in my room. If you eat a grape off the dang vine, they changing the whole bowl. I'm like, man, I don't like that. He said, man, get used to being rich, bro. Get used to. I'm like, man, every time I open the door, that guy's there with that towel. Every time I go to the bathroom, I'm like, these dudes got a key to my room. They in here more than I am.
Yeah, and I was, in that time, that's when Dorian, he started telling me little things in the gym at that point. Because I have a photo with me talking to Dorian, and we was in the gym, and I had a towel around my neck, and that's when we had bandanas on our head. Remember, Melvin?
Yeah.
I guess I'll try to find that photo for you, Giles. I'll send it to you.
Please.
But I'm telling you, like, that's when he started telling me, like, oh, Chris, you're just swinging the weight around. You ain't even, like, using the muscle. I'm like, I remember thinking in my head,
like what you talking about?
Fuck you, Dorian. I'm like, fuck you, Dorian. I ain't fucking swinging it. He said, you are swinging it. I said, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. Like, he wouldn't like come off of like, that's not okay how you train. And then that's when you first started putting little stones in my head about my training wasn't what it should be, you know? So,
yeah.
But then I remember came down to the pose routines. We had a competition, right? And they had a guy from Taliban Gym up in there. We was like, Taliban Gym?
Taliban Gym?
Well, what the hell?
Yeah, what you finna do? What you finna blow the stage up? What the hell is you finna do?
There's one guy, a competitor. And then we wasn't used to having all men in the competition. So it was like the women was all upstairs in the hotel. Yeah. And there was none but men. And there was only one lady who worked at the hotel was allowed in the competition. So, like I say, for the last time, we was not accustomed to any of this, you know. And then what's his name? Samir. Samir was the ring, you know, got us all going out there. So he was like, you know, saying we was gonna get this, we're gonna get that, you know, blah blah blah. But Samir told me, like, Chris, when you do your pose routine, don't do anything crazy or weird. He said these people are not like that. Like he said, don't be shaking your ass and all that stuff. And I remember saying to myself,
I didn't get
he told me that. He told me that. He told me that shit. I was like, don't do nothing weird. Don't do nothing weird.
See how Chris is holding out? He didn't tell me shit. Let me tell you what happened. Chris got off stage. They out there, whoa, something. Oh, they getting busy. Chris out there handling business. So I got to step up my game. So, you know, I'm going to cut all the way up. So I'm like, man, I had my music ready. I didn't know that the women was out. I seen the women when we walked through the lobby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So I'm thinking it's going to be
they had a segregated party. They had a wedding party.
A wedding party.
Women. And they boarded it up because they were going to be taking their bells off and stuff.
Right. I thought they were.
I don't know what it's really called, but I call it a bell. But
right.
But I forgot what it's called.
Hijab, yeah.
Hijab.
I thought they was coming over, so I'm thinking they gonna come over. We gonna have nobody talk to me, right? So I get my ass, I'm oiled up, I'm doing my push-ups, you know what I'm saying? So I'm finna show out for these girls. So I'm finna get it. Because I use the girls for motivation.
Yeah.
So mind you bring your ass out on
That's
that
always
stage.
a motivational.
And the damn lights still. everybody's quiet, I use the girls as motivation to cut up. You know what I'm talking about? So I always used to sometimes start with my back to the audience, and the music started, guys, and I got into my zone. I started moving, I started flowing, and the lights came up, and I did a turnaround, I did an about face, and I saw all these brothers. I said, what the thousands? I said, where the guys at? I said, where the girls at? I couldn't stop. I had to keep posing. Now I got to cut up in front of them. Where I find my motivation now?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to act like I'm in front of my mama. I just kept going.
In front of your mama?
I just kept going because I said, if I stop and cut up and show out, they
commit to it. Commit to it.
And Giles, when I'm out there, I'm thinking the whole time, like, don't shake your ass, Chris. There's only the dudes out there. And then, hey, but
you shook your ass, didn't you?
So I'm just doing this classical stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm just doing classical stuff and like totally boring routine. And the head guy was like, after the show, he was like, Chris, what kind of routine was that? He said, what do you mean? He said, they told me not to do anything weird or crazy. They said, we wanted the routine from 1999 Olympia. What was this? And I was like, I was told not to do it. He said, who told you this? I didn't want to rat him out, but I was like, with my eyes, like looking at Samir, like Samir told me not to do it. Samir almost got me in trouble, man.
I cut up.
They were looking for the 99 routine. They wasn't wanting no classic pose for me.
They wanted CC. They didn't want to.
But it was fun though, you know.
It was fun. It
was kind of close to the Olympia for myself, but it was. I'm glad I went there though.
So that's 5 weeks out from the Olympia, the 2001 Olympia.
I'm in Qatar. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, 5 weeks out. We was in Qatar, and then we remember we was rolling in the taxi. Chris, remember he was in the taxi. It was, me, Chris, and Dorian was in the taxi, and they was cutting up on me, talking about, man, you so damn wild, man. We got to calm you down. You so damn wild. Dorian just harping on me. So I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm laughing and then whatever. And I rolled down the window.
Yeah.
And we in the taxi. Remember this, Chris? I rolled down the window and I spit out the window, and the taxi cab was like, no. I didn't know. I spit out the window. He's like, no, sir. No.
Disrespectful.
Like, what the hell is this? Go get us killed out of here. I didn't know I couldn't spit. I didn't know. He said, you can't do that. You can't do that here. Don't do that. Please, we can't do that. He freaked out, man. Take that, man. He think we finna get arrested. You can't spit out here.
Wow. But other than that trip, it was, I felt like, we had a special bond throughout our career. And, but we had some good times, man, on the road. And everything was cool, though, man. Even the struggles was good. The ups and the downs, it was all gravy because, you know, we was always going to be there, you know, no matter what.
What struggles did you kind of help each other through?
For me, it was diet.
Stuff, man.
For me, it was life. It was diet. I mean, you know, he showed me how to eat. You know, because John Brown always.
Oh, you gotta tell him about. Hey, you gotta tell him about that when he was in my house. Melvin, you gotta tell. I had Melvin. I said, Melvin, come stay at my house, man. We get you ready for this show. We was just getting ready for the USA, and he was going against Dennis James that time.
Yeah, we went, and so what happened was. Yeah, so Chris,
what happened was
he said you got to come to the house and stay the night. So we're gonna stay the weekend. We're gonna get you right. I need to get your program. We got to change your stuff around. You know what I'm saying? We finna handle the business because it's your time. This is your time. That was my year. That was supposed to be my show.
Yeah.
I'm going pro. Nobody's beat me. It's over with. I come in shape. So Chris said, come over to the house and we gonna dictate. We're gonna change your diet around and stuff. So he said, if you do what I tell you to do, and you look the way I want you to look, we're gonna take you to go get a cheat meal, right?
Sorry, that was the 98 USA, correct?
98 USA.
Yeah,
I tied James. And I should have went pro, and I don't care what nobody say, but the judges, they got me. So I'm at Chris' house. We training like a dog, you know what I'm saying? We in that gym. I'm talking stopping the gym. You know what I'm saying? People coming from all over, trying to Melvin Anthony this. I mean, I was already acting like a pro before I was a pro. You know what I mean? And I was always taught by, John Brown and Chris Cormier and, people. When I got up on the Chris Cormier's tutelage, Chris Cormier said, you think like a pro. When you win, don't be jumping around crying and jumping up and down. You don't act surprised. Look at all the work you're putting in. When you win, you say thank you, be a gentleman, and you get off the stage. Yeah. So he said, you get down after the weekend, I want to see how you look. So on this Friday, we trained. I think we did legs, and we killed it. We went to the posing room. He saw how I look. He said, I see what I want to see. So after the gym, we ride into Chris's car. He said, we're going to take you somewhere. I'm going to take you for a cheat meal. I said, cheat meal? He said, you can eat whatever you want one time. That's it. Eat whatever you want one time. Right? So he kept on saying one time. But you can't tell no. That's like telling the kid to eat one damn cookie. So look, we went to this place across the street from the firehouse. And I got me some tempura chicken and some potatoes. And Paul Dillette dumbass going, Melvin, eat some pizza. I don't like pizza, Paul.
That's a good impression. That's a good impression.
Chris said, I eat what I want. I'm eat what I want. Paul was trying to tell me what to eat. I eat pizza when I'm hungry. I said, baby, that's some Canadian shit because I'm not eating that. I'm eating some of that chicken. I'm getting some of the potatoes, some gravy. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting some French fries. Chris said, get what you want. And he said, pick whatever dessert. Now, they had a whole plethora of desserts. I picked the biggest, nastiest thing I could find. It was one piece of chocolate cake and one piece of lemon cake. I couldn't figure out which one I wanted. So he said, Chris said, okay, then screw it, man. Get them both. Eat what you can eat. And after you finish, it's over with. So we get back to the house. We playing PlayStation. I'm smashing that. But when I tell you guys, that food was so good. When you died it for 13 weeks and you mess around and get something good in you, I ate. Played PlayStation. I ate the cake. I couldn't get it all the way in. See, Chris knew this already. Chris don't say why he tell you stuff. He already knew I wasn't gonna be eating that cake, right? So I ate half of the lemon, and I only got a bite of the chocolate. So after we got done, Chris looked at me and said, "Marvellous, you done? You done?" I said, "Yeah, man." He said, "Okay."
I said, "No more."
He said, "You sure? You want to get another bite?" I was like, "No, man, I'm full. I can't eat it." He said, "Okay, now it's over with, right? I'm finna go to bed." So Chris reached over, grabbed the cake, dumped it in this other trash.
No. Because I left it on the counter first, thinking it was gonna be like, okay, he's gonna shut down. He don't want no more, so it'll be fine. And I remember I went to the restroom, and I walked in the kitchen. You walk in the kitchen, scratching your butt, walking into the kitchen, and then next thing you know, I noticed the cake has been missing. More cake is gone. I'm like, Melvin, what the fuck, man? I'm like, what are you doing? What you got to show, man? So I put the cake in the motherfucking trash can, thinking, okay, this is gonna fix Melvin. I put it in the trash can. I go back to bed.
And I got up at 5 o'clock.
Next morning, I come back out. This motherfucker went in the trash can and got the cake out again. I said, more. I was mad as fuck. Like, damn, man, what's wrong with you?
He said, what the fuck? He said, what the hell is wrong with you? I don't know, bro. I don't know. You should have took it outside and put it in the trash can.
Did I put it at the very bottom of the trash?
Under
trash on top of it.
Under spaghetti. I reached through all that shit. Spaghetti, I got me a fork and got that. Spaghetti and cake don't taste bad when you're hungry.
Yeah.
I ate that. I sure did. He mad at me. I said, you should have put that outside.
I was so pissed, man. I was like, man, this fucking guy.
He made me do an extra hour of cardio and all kinds of
stuff. Oh, yeah. You got hell to pay now. I was so mad.
So mad.
I put this effort for you, man. You already eat more cake.
Yeah.
So the 2001 Olympia was the first Olympia you did together, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2001.
2001, yeah. I was at that one. I was there.
Yeah, 2001, I was cutting up, boy. Believe me, Chris was like, this your time, boy. It's your time. You better handle your business. And he said, he said, this is what Chris told me. And I don't know if Chris remembers this. We was in a room, and we were just trying to do new hairstyles. So, he was getting the twisties put in. Chris was like my mentor when it came to style. You know what I'm saying? He said, you got to stay on. He said, you got to stay on the cutting edge, bro. You got to stay on looking. See these twisties right here? So I said,
I started twisting my hair up, shit.
Twisted his hair up, so I was like, I'm gonna start growing my hair out after this. Chris was like, you just do what I do. I said, okay, cool. So he said, this is gonna be your chance to kick Sean's ass. I was like, what you talking about? Because he gonna be there. This your chance. You can stand on stage with him. You can see him. Remember, you also always talk about how little he was. He said, this time now you can get a chance to stand next to him. I said, you sure right. So you better train your ass off. So when I got on that stage and they put me between Sean, me, and Dexter, we got to playing ping pong with that boy. And I'll be the first one to say it. He didn't come back to the Olympia no more after that.
That was his last Olympia. Olympia, yeah.
That was it. You damn right, because he knew if he came back, we was gonna kick his ass. He knew it too. He might not admit it, but he knew we were at that age where we were trying to beat everybody. I was even trying to beat Chris at the 2001 Iron Man. I told him.
And what about? And then here's a funny one. I'll tell you a real funny one. I know Mal remember this shit because I tell this story all the time. So this is like I went through some shit, you know, because that was my partying days in that little sector of 2000 to 2002 in that area.
Yeah.
Which is well documented. And but we was up in San Francisco. I remember Melvin. I was talking to Melvin backstage. I haven't seen you for a minute, but Melvin started doing his own thing, doing his shows and doing his guest posing, and becoming into his own. I remember we was backstage, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm glad you got a handle on that shit, man. This and that." And I was like, "Yeah, man." So we was going up to the stage. We got the first call out with each other, like head to head, basically. And I remember Melvin was like, so they called me up there. I forgot who else they called up there. I mean, they called. They said Melvin Anthony on the right, and then Melvin got up there. He basically like bumped me with his elbow when he came up there. He's like, "I've been waiting my whole life for this." He was
fantastic.
Look, he said that shit. I looked at Melvin.
Yeah, Chris, look here.
I was like, "What? You been wait what?" I went boom. We went through our shit. Boom, boom, hitting shots. They said, "Chris, Cormier back in line. Such and such take their place." And I was like, "All right, see you later, Melvin." And then I walked away. And then he was like, "Damn." He got another call out to He was like, "Yo." He said, "I've been waiting my whole life. He's about to take me out."
He's getting close.
He said, "Wait your whole life for this? What?"
I helped you.
Yeah. My boy, I guess I gotta try to beat my boy.
I know.
As soon as they said Chris Cormier back a lot, he's like, "I'll see you later." I was like, "Fuck."
I was like, "Not today, Melvin. Not today."
I tried to get him at the 2001 Iron Man too, boy. I tried to get him. He was like, "Man, you ain't gonna get me today. You ain't ready. On the stage, people don't know that bodybuilders talk to each other up there. We talk to each other up there. So if people don't know that what's going on, they can just see facial movements, and we talking backed up bicep. Chris gonna talk about this is my shot. I said mine too. Back lat spread. He said, he talked to me the whole time, trying to psych me out. Look, you can't psych me out. But when it was all said and done, at the end, I knew Chris was going to get me. You know what I'm talking about? But, boy, I tried to take it. Believe 2001, I tried to get his ass. I tried to get him, And so, that was just a common thing, for young guys to be able to beat their sensei. It's just like the karate movie Kung Fu.
Yeah.
When you take the rock from my hand, sensei, then you will become a master. I never got the rock from Chris, but I got it from Flex, but...
Yeah.
So, it was just us growing up that way. I learned so much from Chris, and a lot of those guys, they were very open to talk to each other and help each other. Yeah. Nowadays guys don't even talk to each other. These youngsters don't even know who people are. You know what I mean? It's crazy how it changed from how we came through and how I came through. Yeah. The market is how it is now. These youngsters, they're afraid to call Chris. They're afraid to tell me or call me or ask me questions. They're afraid to see us. When they see us, some of the guys are like, I'm a pro, but they don't know who went before you. You could never know what your future gonna be like if you don't know your past. A lot of these young guys.
Do you ever think of the sense of some of the guys that compete today? I feel like this is the most you should be able to reach out to anybody in the world, basically. Mm-hmm. And be like, "Yo, how do you see this? I see this training like this or this posing like this." Like I would, man, if we had social media back when we were young, I guarantee you, I'd have been all up in Lee Haney's gym. I would have been all up in, so I've been doing the most, man. I guarantee you, But we was already in touch with, Joe Weider was alive still at that time, and we went as high as we can go with connection or with, having just a conversation even. Right. But I guarantee you, I would have been in a lot of people's ears you couldn't.
One name I hear a lot, obviously with Sean Ray, you've mentioned it, is John Brown. That's a name that I've heard so many times. You mentored Melvin, Chris. John Brown, he really was a mentor to people like yourself, Chris.
Well, he was kind of in all of our lives in one facet or another. But he was we basically, I could say, was all under his umbrella. I could say that. Just from being a showman on stage and your attitude off the stage and all that stuff. Because when I was in junior college, I moved up to Fullerton and I was training in the same gym as John Brown when I was 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw him firsthand, handling 150-pound dumbbells on a preacher curl, straining at that, hitting maybe 2 or 3 reps, but he's doing 130-pound preacher curls.
Mm-hmm.
Same guy.
That dude was strong as hell.
And then he had been to Europe. He got that European flair. He made us all want to go to Europe. You know what I'm saying? He made us all want to, you know what I'm saying, coming home with, boatloads of money and stuff from Europe and going on tour and stuff like that. So that was in our mind as amateurs. That's what we want. We want to do that stuff.
Yeah, he would tell you straight. That guy, people didn't want to ask him a lot of questions. He was so blunt. He told me that he said that I had a blend of a Roy Callender, Flex Wheeler, some other guy, Serge Nebrae-ish kind of look to me.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I can see that. Because the thing is, Melvin, I think probably one of your best poses is that first compulsory pose. That's the front double bicep, and the way you angled your body, you gave a very good, strong first impression when you were called out in the judging. Right.
And I had to learn that. I mean, John had to show me how to battle, and Chris showed me some other things also. But, John wouldn't mess with us. When it came to posing, man, it was serious business. And he said, you got to do what they want. You got to do what they want because you're going to always run into a guy that's better and bigger. Mm-hmm. So when you run into a bigger guy, you better know you got to know what you got, your best assets, and know how to use them.
So you can believe that he spent some time with all of us at certain times.
All of us.
And sometimes all of us at one time, we was around. But it was definitely under his umbrella for sure.
Yeah. Even Victor Richards, man. Victor Richards, man, was like a baby when he was in front of John. Sir, yes, sir. Man, that boy don't call nobody sir. Victor Richards did what he wanted to do. But Chris, hey, how you doing, sir? How you doing, sir? I'm like, man, Victor Richards is bowed down to John. What the? He said, but I told you, I train everybody. Vince Taylor, all those guys. Vince Taylor, Victor Richards.
And he had some really cool clothes at the time too. So he had the tights with the 2 stripes on the side, then they made your leg
Jay Brown
big. He had the curls for the girls. He had the shirts with the curls for the girls.
Curls for the girls.
Fantastic! I love it.
You remember that shirt?
Yeah.
Is it guys?
Station shirt with the Jay Brown on it.
Jay Brown
tag.
Guys,
with the cutout sleeves.
Is it true that he was the one that started the idea for FIBO?
Yes.
That's incredible. Yeah. That's because I heard and I was like, it was never confirmed.
John Brown was the first one to offer that idea, and they didn't want to pick it up from him. They didn't want it. They would, and then years, then they messed around, did it on their own. But John was the first one to put that out there.
Wow!
Why don't you just do that for everybody?
He was a pioneer. He was a pioneer.
Yeah. I remember when I met Serge Nebrae for the first time, and I had told Chris about it. I was like, man, remember when Serge Nebrae, he came down and he saw me? I didn't know he was in there. I walked in the gym.
Wow.
And Chris was down over in Fountain Valley training. And I said, man, guess who up in the gym right now, man? Serge Nebrae. Oh, he's like, oh, yeah, me is a good dude, man. I said, good dude, man. Talk to him if you can.
Yeah.
So Chris told me to talk to him. So, I'm in there training, and he saw me, and he asked John, who's that dude right there, man? That's a specimen. He goes, that's my guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's Mark. Yeah, good.
Sergio, as old as he was still wearing string tank tops. That was his uniform.
Still in shape.
Tank top and them little shorts. Yeah. He's showing everything every day.
Showing everything. He had everything hanging out. That's why I got his whole package up there. But he walked up to me and he's like, he said, hey Melvin, you have a phenomenal physique. I looked at him like, what? Like, who is this nigga? Are you trying to be like put some smoke in my head? Come on. He's like, you have a phenomenal. John, tell me a little bit about you. I want you to come to me with friends. I want you to.
Serge Nebrae.
Oh my! I'm not gonna go no friends with you. I don't know how to fly nowhere. So he's like, yes, I want you to come train for a few months. I want to show you some things, right? So after he got done, I called Chris and said, man, Chris, man, Serge, man, he trying to get me to go to France, man. He's like, man, you should think about it, man. It'd be an opportunity. Yeah. John said, no, you ain't going no damn France. He said that boy trains. You gonna just come running back because that boy trains crazy. He don't never come out. He live in the gym.
Yeah.
He said Serge Nebrae ate, slept, and trained in the gym. He never left the gym. He trained 4 or 5 times a day.
What?
Eat, go back to the gym. Eat, go back to the gym. He said, I know your ass ain't going to do that. So you might not want to go rethink that one. That's the only reason why I didn't go. I was afraid. I was like, man, I don't know if I can handle that. Just going to the gym and go home, eat, go back to the gym, go eat, go home. I came out and said, Chris, I ain't going to go, man. I ain't going to go, man. I'm going to stay here.
Do that for a few months in France. Wow.
We also had a great time in Australia with Tony Doherty took care of us.
Yeah.
We'd fly over to Australia and compete, and we hanging out. And like I said, we had like little apartments over there at that time. That was like we'll be hanging on. It's just cool because coming from watching them as just winning the California show and the way we met and the way we kept it together throughout turning pro and then that whole transition on into all the different things. I remember I went to I went to Melvin's graduation for cosmetology school. All that
shit. Oh, you mean the
doing nails? Hell yeah!
Melvin's doing nails and stuff. I'm like, okay.
I gotta make money, man.
Explain.
Explain. I went to the graduation. And Melvin got up there, got a certificate. I'm all speech. Melvin, nobody did a speech, but I'm all Melvin up there about speech.
Christmas day, always with the
He was so embarrassed.
I was so embarrassed. I made so much money.
Sorry,
everybody's like, man.
What was that? The Tom Cruise thing?
He was the biggest
nail tech.
What do you call? Yeah, nail tech in the world. He was the biggest one.
Nail tech in the world. I like 240. had my
Nobody was doing nails at that size. Look at Joe's face.
I'm sorry, I'm a bit lost now. Guys. You've lost me now.
I know how to do a whole lot of stuff, man, guys. I know how to do a lot. Look, I was doing nails, man. You just can't imagine what girls tell you while you're rubbing their feet. They tell me about how come my man doing this, and I want the male perspective. You know what I'm talking about? So I made a lot of them females doing them nails, boy. Believe me, I was knocking them down.
No one going around offering it shit. He's like, hey, let me do your feet.
Let me do your feet, girl. Got you.
Oh, nails.
Rubbing on
nails, right? Nail technician.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. When you say nails, I was like, what the hell's he on about?
Yeah, we talking about nails, pedicures, manicures. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah, I was killing them. I was all at the show at the Olympic talking about, girl, you break a nail, I got you. I'm going to.
I got you.
I'm running around there acting a fool, boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So what was it like? Because you did the 2001 Grand Prix tour together, didn't you? What was that like? Because you said you came to Manchester and because we spoke a bit before we started filming. What was that like?
And for me,
I was at that one as well because I was sat right in the front.
Yeah, Manchester, man.
Yeah,
it was new for me. Traveling like that. Chris had to show me a lot. Some of the other guys around me, would tell me a lot. Even Dennis would tell me, certain things. I wasn't used to traveling like that. I really had to be tutored because being on a plane and trying to stay with your diet is crazy difficult. You can't eat what they eat. You can't eat hot food. When you get there, you got to go find the stuff you need. Some of us, y'all don't eat the same as like we eat in America. You guys can eat a little different. And Chris would always, try to tell us how to get ready. The travel, put your body into a whirlwind of metabolism changes. You start holding water. So Chris would tell me, while you're on the plane, I don't care. You drink a gallon before you get here. You hear me? A whole gallon. Do you know how much peeing you do on a plane 35,000 miles up in the air?
That's what I want you to do.
You're going to piss 10 times. So imagine me getting up back and forth to the bathroom. I had to ask the flight attendant, can you change my seat to back there? Because Chris got me drinking this gallon of water on this plane. I didn't realize it. Why I got there.
I remember once when Eddie Abu was given some advice. He said, for every hour you're on a flight, you need to drink a liter of water. And that's a lot of water. And that's a lot of bathroom trips, isn't it?
It's a lot of water. And he's a nurse. Eddie Abu, me and him, that's a whole other story. Eddie Abu, I had to tell him about himself a couple times. Boy, you a nurse. How you going to tell me anything about You know what I mean? About what I'm doing. You over talking crazy. You know, remember at the Olympia, I had to check him a couple times. He always was acting like, what are you doing up there? I don't do that dancing stuff up there. I say, because you can't. Well, I'm not a porn star. I don't need to be a porn star. You doing it because you can't. You can't dance. You know, black as you is, you can't even dance. So ain't nobody listening to you anyway. Why don't you just go on back there, sit in the back of the seat and just be quiet? Heck yeah, I was mad at Eddie Boo for a minute. He was always messing with me. But we cool as hell now. That's just his personality, you know. He knew a lot about stuff too.
Melvin, he spoke about you because he was on last episode and he spoke about you and he said when you were at the Australian the Australian show when Kai Green and I think Rich Gaspari was talking to one of the judges and you said from the stage, he says, guys, you know I can hear. He said that you said that to the judges. He said, guys, I can hear you. I can hear what you're saying.
Yeah. They was arguing about, you know, where it was gonna place me. They was arguing about how I looked and all this sort of stuff, and I heard them. Oh. You know, I'm on the stage, and I'm like, man, don't do that in front of. I can hear you, bro. I can hear y'all. You know, I can hear you, right? Yeah. He's talking about, yo, I think Melvin's better. I think Melvin this and that. I think Melvin needs to move. They was arguing, right? And I heard them. I was like, man, if y'all gonna have a discussion, go back there, because now it makes me look like y'all up to some BS. And I end up calling Jim Mannion on that too. I'm like, man, you know I can hear you, right? You know I can hear you. Oh, we're sorry, Mr. Anthony. We're sorry. Oh, now it's Mr. Anthony. Oh, no, you know it's Melvin. But yeah, it was crazy. That was real crazy. And Eddie was laughing about it. Eddie thought it was funny. Yeah, it was very, very different in different, you know, countries. You know, you compete over in California, you compete over here. When you go to, like, when I went to Manchester and I went to Budapest, and I remember I competed against the guy from Poval. Jablonski. Pavel Jablonski.
Oh, Pavel Jablonski. Yeah, Pavel.
He was laughing because Chris was mad about it too. I'm like, man, how am I gonna beat his behind over here and then go over to his country and he beat me? Oh, I was mad as hell. I said, Chris, you better call somebody because I'm about ready to fight now because that ain't cool, man. You ain't just gonna politic me. He ain't beat me today. I'm better today than I was at the show, and now he beat me. What's that about? Nah. So it was a lot of stuff going on back then that we had to deal with.
Yeah, and plus a lot of times people in their mind when they beat somebody they think I'm gonna always be able to beat them. I'm gonna always be able to do it, and that's not the case. Like we were switching places from week to week. We flip flopping places and stuff. But we used to have attitude because, like I said, when some of these guys, we go to different countries, these guys speak the language of the judges and all that stuff. Some of these judges didn't speak any English, but they always talked. NASA knew so many languages. He knew how to speak to everybody.
Right.
NASA knew how to speak to everybody. So
NASA talked to everybody.
And and then next thing you know, he basically massaging the judges' necks as we get off the plane. I'm like, hey man, why don't you?
Hell yeah.
You had to get your ass out of there. All that jibber jabber you talking.
It can't be no worse. Kevin was saying,
we know what you're trying to do, you know?
Yep. Yeah. Kevin LeBron used to do that too. Kevin LeBron was a pretty boy. So Kevin LeBron
they love Kevin, though. They love Kevin.
They love rubbing on Kevin's booty. I saw a judge rubbing Kevin LeBron's booty. I said, wait a minute. Your ass stuck. Can I get my booty rubbed?
I didn't say that.
I'm saying it because he knows the truth. I don't give a damn. I'm going to tell it. I said, the judge rubbing his booty. I said, ooh.
They love Kevin, man.
What's up with that? He's like, well, sometimes, they just, get a little comfortable. Whatever, Kevin. Whatever. Lucky boy.
My God.
Lucky boy.
Wow. Hey, Chris. In this episode, I've called it a retro review of and it's the 1998 Arnold. So that's the year that you turned pro, and then that's the year that because NASA was in that one, wasn't it? And you took 5th place to Flex Wheeler. Were you at that? We watched. You obviously used to go to the Arnold Classics and watch them, Melvin, even as an.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna tell you how I got out there. Let me tell you that story. Okay. So Chris, he didn't know my struggle. Chris would always, Chris would give me money sometimes. I was the guy that I was the go-to guy. I was like the baggage claim guy, or the guy that walks around with the bags when the golfer, what do you call him, baggage guy?
Caddy.
Yeah, so I was like Chris's name was Caddy. You know what I'm talking about? And believe me, and they always got the info from me. You know what I'm saying? Chris would come at me and say, hey, you was over Flex house with it yesterday. What you see? What he have? And I would tell Chris everything I saw Flex had. I'll tell him his whole and whatever. So look, and then Flex would do that shit to me. Flex would be like, hey, you was over Chris playing for Baden. Hey man, he got some bottles over there. How many do he got? Because Chris would lie and tell
Yeah.
I didn't know I was being used. No, I'm not no snitch. That's one thing. I didn't know no better because I was so in awe of these guys.
Yeah.
Flex would tell me when you go over Chris' house, you know, he got them bottles. You know what I'm saying? See how many he got. I'm not knowing Chris done told Flex he ain't got no more. He'd tell Flex I only got 10. So when I was over there, Chris had gave me a couple. I seen like 100. So when I went back to Flex house, Flex said, how many bottles did Chris have? I said, he had a whole bunch of them. He did? Oh, okay, well, cool. Then yeah, go ahead.
You can imagine we would have, the way things got around back in the day, we had a special group of guys, I could say, came over with the suitcases and stuff from Europe. And they was all at the, what's that, the Marina Pacific Hotel?
Marina Pacific.
Okay. And then you saw everybody going through there. You got the Barbarian Brothers coming through there.
Wow.
You got people that.
All of them.
Yeah. You see everybody. But they come like this. We stand there 3 minutes at a time. You just go. High-fiving on the way out.
Suitcases full of
I gotta
cash.
get my cord, man. I'm gonna run out of power.
So that particular time, you know, Flex and Chris they were best buddies, but they didn't tell everybody everything. You know, I was the go-to guy. So they like, Melvin, you know, I would tell them innocently, you know, he got this, he got this, he got this, and then I'm doing the innocently to Chris. Well, Flex got this, and them two would be arguing. See, they would go by how they gonna look on stage by what they had. You know what I'm saying? So his ingredients would be, you know, 1 through 7. You know what I'm saying? Flex ingredients would be 1 through 9, and then 8 they would lie about.
Yeah.
And I would fill in the blank. So this particular time, you know, Chris said, "Hey man, you come to the Arnold this year." I said, "Man, I ain't got no money, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm gonna make it." He said, "Well, try to get there because this business is very important for you." So I spent my whole rent money to go up there. I ain't had no money. I didn't have no money to eat. No money to go eat, nothing extra, maybe for one meal. So they up there getting ready, and I get up there, right? So I get to the show, and mind you, remember John Brown and them had told me that I had the physique of Roy Callender, Flex Wheeler, Serge LeBray, right?
Yep.
So I get up there, and the first person I go through the back. I said, I don't got no tickets. I don't got no money. Chris was trying to get me a ticket, so I'm in the back. So, you know, at the end of the day, Chris always laughs at me. He said, because you're a little resourceful little guy. So I go all the way to the back where all the athletes was going in. They was getting off the bus, and I seen them. So I told Lloyd, man, I'm going to go up there through this way. He's like, man, well, let me see what I can do. I said, I'm just going to go walk up there. So they all walked up the stairs. I come lagging. Now, mind you, I'm dressed like they dressed because Chris and them showed me how to get down. So I'm dressed like a bodybuilder. I walk to the door. The security guard said, hey, how you doing there, Mr. Wheeler? I said, how you doing? They walked right by him. They thought I was Flex Wheeler. I walked right by him. Swear to God, I walked right in the back door. Chris and them on the stage. Chris sees me down on the second row, and I'm throwing up bees.
I remember that. I was like laughing.
He said, how did you...
I was like, look at this dude right here.
I went down there sitting right two people down from Lou Ferrigno, and I did the whole spiel. But it was a good experience for me to experience. You know what I'm talking about? I was eating and people paying for my food, and I'm just like, man, I'm just in awe watching this guy compete, and me sitting on the audience and seeing it from that perspective. And I'm like, one day, man, I'm gonna be up there doing that. You know, I'm gonna be doing that. But man, that was hell. That was a crazy experience all weekend. Chris like, man, how the hell you get up in there? How you do that?
So what was your favorite Olympia that you did, Melvin? Was it 2003 maybe?
My first Olympia was 2001.
But what was your favorite one? Because I've watched that posing routine of yours in the 2003 Olympia so many times. I think that for me was probably your best performance.
Right. 2003 was one of my best.
Yeah.
I had put it together because they said, you know, hey, 2001, I got pushed out of the lineup. You know what I mean? You know, when Jay had his little, you know, his going backs and forth with you know, with IFBB. You know what I'm saying? About his money, they were testing us, and I guess they had caught Jay with something that they didn't know. I don't know. It was a whole big mix-up. But he got it straight. But what happened was I got.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
I remember that. So I was getting the money.
Didn't Jay say something like he was gonna take him to court or some shit? He was like,
hell yeah.
They was like, he dug his feet in the ground. He was like, he ain't budging on it. He's like, hell no.
I'm suing.
He challenged him.
Yeah, I'm suing. And as soon as they did, they gave him the money back, and I lost my 10.
Yeah.
And I was like, Chris, what I'm gonna do now, man? You know what I'm gonna do now? He's like, man, I got pushed out the money. I only got 1,000.
Sorry, so from that, because they were disqualified, wasn't it? And then it pushed you into 11th out of 10th.
It pushed me into 10th place.
Oh, you lost $10,000 because of that. Oh.
because of that. So then he got
no,
check.
shit.
Guess who didn't get a check?
Oh,
I was mad at Jay for like a year. I don't even like that dude, man.
Mad at Jay.
My money.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2003 was a good year for me. So that 2003, I had to really put something together to show them that I am a true competitor. You know, you becoming a pro, that is not the accolade.
The end all. That's not
the accolade. Once you get into the pros, now you're a rookie. Can you imagine Chris calling me a rookie? What is you talking about? I've been with you for 2 years. What are you talking about? I'm a rookie. Well, yeah, you're a rookie boy now. Now you got to earn it. Earn it. So can you imagine? That's why I was cutting up in 2003. I've been waiting a long time to beat you because you've been calling me a rookie all this time. I ain't no rookie. I ain't no rookie. So 2003, I had.
And that was cool at that Ironman. That Ironman was a good show though, because you was in shape.
I was in shape.
And then that's when Kamali came over, and
he beat his ass.
Yeah, we had to work Kamali because Kamali was
he had a mouth.
He had the biggest mouth in the sport at the time.
Yep.
And that was something else. So we had to make sure that he wasn't going to be prospering out there on the West Coast.
Yeah, he had to whoop his butt thoroughly.
He did look good because he looked great in the Ironman, the Arnold of Olympia in 2001, and then he kind of faded out. He started off strong.
It wasn't enough.
He was in good shape, but the mentality behind what we had, we making him look. We think of him like looking like shit. That's what we is, because you can't look at someone in that frame of mind where you're like, oh man, like I can't be freaked out on how good he looked. I got to look at all the worst points, and I just look at his worst points, and that's all I was doing. Like I couldn't go against Ronnie or Dexter, even Melvin. I couldn't go against guys and be like, I'm marveling over there at their good attributes. I got to look at the worst points they have and go with that.
Yeah, Chris was really good.
I train with Flex Wheeler, and I'm looking at all the good stuff he has, but I have to look at the worst parts he has.
Right.
That's what I would hang on to. Is like that's how you can beat him. You go in there thinking how great he is. How are you going to try to beat that person?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris, you used to train with Rico and Flex. Now that was probably the mid '90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Melvin was mixed in there throughout. Also, he would make
as an amateur.
He would be up in Venice also. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was in all of Rico. I mean, when I first met Rico, man, I was like, man, that's one of that crew, man. Yeah. That's one of that was the crew, man. Flex Wheeler, Chris, and Rico, that was the crew. So when I got a chance to meet the crew, I got a chance to get at Rico at the cow. So he's like, I'm gonna do the cow. I mean, in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna beat your ass too. Yeah. So so he showed up, and he was so big, he's right, I couldn't focus on. He had a big chest, big arms, you know what I'm saying? Nice back, big legs. I had to attack his weaknesses. And that's how I got past Rico, because he was way bigger than me. He had so much more maturity. He was training with pros already.
Yeah.
So imagine you having to go against a guy that's on the stage at your level that's already training with multiple pros. I just had John at the time and Chris from time to time after the fact, after I won the count. So at that point, once I got past him and I was able to be around those guys, I was able to up my level by getting the information from all these pros. I got information from all of them, all of them. Every guy that I could get in front of, I got the most information from John and Chris, okay? But then around Chris took me to Robbie Robinson's house one day.
Wow.
See, Chris, when I tell you Chris put me into an element to where I was killing, I said, you can't show me that because I'm a hitter, which on the street we call hitters, people that ain't afraid to just go in after people. So, he said, I'm going to take you somewhere. He would never say where we was going. He said, I'm going to take you somewhere right quick. We pulled up at this nice, gated community, and, Chris just smiling and giggling. See, Chris think that crap's funny. Like I said, Chris has a crazy sense of humor. He laughing. So when they opened the door and I see Robbie Robinson, I lost all power.
Wow.
He come hugging his neck, say, hey, with that D-Force, come on in here, brother. Come on in here, brother. So he pulled Chris in, and he had this, this beautiful lady in there, and he got his wife at the time, and, from Sweden somewhere. I was like, oh, my God. And, Chris was just like, just be on your best behavior, because, Robbie is a very upstanding, very delicate type of, he's very, I don't know what to call, he's a eccentric, he's very into everything he does. So he's in there, I smell his food, he's in there cooking, right? So he says, come on in. So he's like, who is this guy here, this young man? He calls me a young man. Chris said, this is this guy I've been training, I've been helping him, man. This is Melvin, I've seen you around in some pictures. You seen me? even the guys that are history legends pay attention to the sport.
Yeah.
He knew who I was. I was like, wow, man. He said, you can ask me anything you want. I said, why you eating chicken thighs? And Chris, how come can't eat that?
Chicken thighs.
Chris said, because you can't. Just because I said so. But he's eating it. But he has got a different body than you do. You don't get to have that. You remember that, Chris? I argue with Chris all day. Why I can't eat chicken thighs? Because you can't eat that. You gotta eat it. Yeah, Robbie told me a lot of things. Took me even in front of Peter, man.
Yeah.
Chris took me. He drove me to Weeder. We just out of the blue. We going somewhere. We show up I see Weeder's office. I said, this is the place where the guy with the crossed arms is. He said, that's Robbie.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
No, but listen.
Explain.
Funny story. I took him up to Weeder for the first time. They didn't know who he was. And
Nobody.
I was like, Pete, I want to introduce you to Melvin Anthony, Marvellous Melvin Anthony, right? And dog, I ain't gonna front. I gotta tell the truth, dog. They laughed.
They laughed at me. I told you guys.
They laughed.
At me.
Why? Why did Peter laugh?
They didn't think it was nothing.
Oh.
I don't look big in my clothes.
Melvin had that sneaky physique. You know, you're smaller, and I already put that in Melvin's head. I said, you don't worry about the person who look big in their clothes. It's the people who don't look big in their clothes. That's what you got to worry about. Because then when they get on stage, that body opens up. And that's exactly what I told the guys at Weeder. I said, when he posed, his body opens up.
Yeah.
Trust me, he's gonna. I said, just watch. And then they said, okay. They were like, all right. But
yeah, it was Peter McGough.
But the first reaction was they laughed.
They laughed.
Oh no!
They laughed, guys. They laughed at me, bro, and I was mad about that. And then so it was Peter McGough and Chris Lund and the lady. What's Clark? What's that chick's name that was down there? One of the journalist ladies. And they laughed at me, man. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
She laughed in my face.
They had Cronkite. Was there. Cronkite. She passed too.
Lynn Cronk.
Lynn Cronk. Yeah.
I remember the name.
But yeah, man. Yeah, dude, they laughed at my boy, man. I was like, what?
Chris Lund said, so you think you're gonna be pro? I'm gonna go pro, huh? You think you're that good, huh? I said, yeah, you're gonna be filming me one day. You're gonna see. He says, well, out there. And not even about 6 months later, Chris Lund was filming me.
There you go. See?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, Chris Cormier told me I was gonna have to film your ass one day. Bloody hell. Well, let's see what you got. Are you strong or are you not like one of these weak? You're not like Paul, are you?
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about? You're gonna work out hard, aren't you? I go, man, I don't know nothing else. Well, let's see what you got. Yeah, but they saw me in that, and they saw me on the stage. They did say that. They said, Chris, you don't look the same.
But that's how it was. We would study trying to pull up the next guy or the next talent. If we saw someone with potential, we was trying to, give a certain. At least I was doing that for sure. The only one that I see nowadays doing that is like a person like Flex Lewis.
Yep.
It's like he seems to put the energy into the next generation or the guys that's under him or whatever, and he's got that same mentality as we had back when we was doing it.
Paying it forward, isn't it? Paying it forward.
Pay it forward. And
I think that's necessary, man. You gotta do that, especially see a good talent, man. Like that's just gonna keep the. And that's another thing. I feel like this generation should pay homage more because, we did a lot of these tours and a lot of these shows not because we really wanted to go. It's because we were like, man, if we don't go, what's gonna happen to the sport? What's gonna happen?
Right.
We're gonna not have shows. Like we gotta. And that was one of the main conversations we were having when continuing to go to overseas and compete over in different countries and stuff.
Yeah,
that's real. That's facts.
Yeah, people don't really know that about us. I mean, even nowadays, they don't understand. I remember, even a guy that I reach out to since I've been home, and it's like he's hard to get to now, but Kai Green. When we saw Kai Green, I tell you, that guy has one of the craziest physique I think I've seen, besides Ronnie Coleman. I mean, just that fool right there. That guy, when I saw him, he was like me. He didn't have no money. he was having his struggles, and he didn't this and that, and he was talking to us like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do another show. I said, you're gonna go to the next show, right? You're gonna go to Night of Champions. You're gonna go to another show. He's like, man, I don't know if I can make it. You can make it. We gonna make sure you make it. What you talking about? And we told me he didn't have no money. Man, I walked right over to Dex. He said, hey, man, we need to get that dude off to that next show, man. Let's go talk to Steve Blackman real quick. Let's go talk to this guy. You know what I'm saying? So we went to go talk to a couple of promoters, a couple of guys from, some magazines, a couple of guys from some protein places. And we need to get this guy some money because if you don't get him, you're freaking crazy. Like, there's something wrong with you if you don't get that one. That guy's a diamond in the rough. I don't care how, you might think he's not nothing. Look at him, and sure enough, he got that contract. And look at him now, But see, some guys they get that, and then they just forget where they came from. It's like you can never forget where you start and where you end. You can't forget it, And enjoy every moment. I enjoyed every minute, every second with Chris and him, And I'm honored to be around the guy. You know what I mean? Real talk.
Are you both happy in your lives now? Given that, because you're kind of still, because Chris, you're kind of still slightly involved in the industry. You're coaching, you're helping people with posing, you're doing your C3 TV. But, you talk very affectionately about those days, about each other. But do you feel happy and kind of and satisfied in your lives now?
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could have been a pro football player, but it didn't work out that way. But no, I'm happy with the journey I took, and I just learned so much. I met so many people all over the world and stuff, and glad to be still in contact with most of the people that I was involved with. But we sacrificed everything to get there. We sacrificed the childhood friends. We sacrificed a lot of family time that you don't get that back. But I feel like that was the journey that God set out for me to take, and the good and the bad.
I just hate it when I hear the guys and they kind of, you could see that I think NASA had some issues with the way he was looking back, and you could see that he felt kind of unresolved issues, and I just think, because you guys, you had such a great legacy, you made such a great impact on the sport,
But Judge, I will take some of those Arnold Classic trophies that I feel I earned.
How many second places?
I will still receive that if that's possible.
Yeah, I'll give Jay and Dexter a call.
Mr. Lorimer.
Yes, a couple of them Arnold Classic.
Jim, somebody.
A couple of them from you, boy. I'll tell you.
Let's make that happen, bro.
Yeah, let's make that happen.
I want to recount.
And I'm doing,
we've just
I'm
done
just
a
looking for
recount.
one judge to tell me I didn't win the show. I haven't found one yet. That's all.
I don't think
I've been searching for like 20 years.
I don't think Jay would begrudge giving you one at least.
Yeah, you need to handle that, Jay. Handle that, bro.
Yeah, just come on, pass that down.
I got you. Yeah. I'll bring my car out there to bring it home.
Yeah. That's right.
Being his rightful owner.
Your part owner. Yeah. I'm definitely doing all.
So Melvin, you said you're going to church? Have you been to church or are you going to church?
Yeah, I go to church. I try to get in there, every other Sunday,
Yeah.
I need to, God knows what's going on. As far as, my life right now, hey, a lot of the mistakes I make, I always tell guys behind me, don't make mistakes I made. Sometimes you just have to change your psyche all the way around. So the mistakes I made, hey, I'm still me. You know what I mean? I'm driving trucks now. I'm doing regular work. I'm so used to being in the gym all day that it's normal life for me. It's a change, but it's okay. I'm doing all right. I'm not on the street. I'm not homeless. I'm not, you know what I mean? I could be doing a lot worse. And I'm able to inspire. I think that some of the people that can get the information that have asked me about posing, I can still do it from where I am. Chris is always available. I'm always available.
Yeah. I think there's a place for all you kind of retired pros. I mean, Chris has done it, and I think there's a real. I said this to Charles Clement. I said this to Jean-Pierre Fuchs. I said it to Mike Francois. I think the sport, there's a very important place of value for all of you, and you will always be appreciated.
Right. Yeah, and then my Chris Cormier Classic in Milwaukee.
There you go.
On May 22nd. It's a whole other feeling to promote and to be walking around. You suited and booted. You like shaking hands and giving and inspiring people backstage and giving little tips to somebody you see might need a tip or so. And it's just a whole other feeling to give back in that aspect. And that's been if I can get another show somewhere else, hint, hint, that would be cool too.
Look, I'm saying hint, hint. I'm going to get my first show. Hint, hint, Chris. So hint, hint. Yeah,
it's hard to get one in California, but
it ain't got to be in California. It could be wrong. It could be somewhere else. It could be from Oklahoma. It could be anywhere. It could be somewhere. I don't care where it is. I'm from America. So,
for sure.
I just hope you guys feel real pride for what you've given to the sport and to other people.
Oh, for sure. I do.
I would do it again.
I still see some guys out there that can be better, and I try to, give my energy to something like that. But people don't understand. It's like you only have so much energy to give, and so much time. You only have time, and time is valuable. So I just feel like people need to understand that.
I mean,
and people think they have all the time in the world, and they don't.
Chris, I mean, you've given a lot of help to Sergio Oliva Jr., to Breon Ansley. These are like the next generation of super pros, and you've done a lot to help them, and and I've seen them acknowledge that.
Right. Yeah. Spend time, man. For sure.
Melvin, you need to share that knowledge, mate, because and also Blood and Bone.
Yeah, Blood and Bone, man.
Yeah, Michael J. White.
Yeah, Michael J. White. I helped train him. I actually helped train him for, got his diet together and helped get him together for that movie. And I was already working with him doing his diet. I was working with Steven Seagal, George Clooney, and I got that from Chris too. Chris was like, man, you got to start training these stars. I'm like, this nigga go crazy. I can't get next to them. And for some reason, I fell into it. I worked with Steven Seagal for about 2 years. And, I was working with Michael at the same time. I got him ready for this Black Dynamite, Why Did I Get Married To? So he had about 13 weeks of movie recording he was going to do. And he's getting ready for Blood and Bone. So he's like, man, you know what I'm saying? I know you're into this acting thing. You're a natural. You're always up there clowning. I've been seeing how you get out at the press conference, fool. You're a natural. You're already an actor. You just don't know it. Acting doesn't mean you act. Actors that act aren't really as good as you think. Yeah. That they edit the credits and they edit the movie around the actor. But you're a natural. Tell them to go do something, you just do it. He said, so if I get a spot for you, open up, I'm going to hook you up. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Because that's Troy's boy. I was like, okay, whatever. So I ended up doing the show in 2006, do the Olympia. And after the Olympia, I get a phone call. And at first, I'm thinking, what the heck, this is a prank? You know what I'm telling you? This is such and such from Blood and Blown casting, yada, yada. I'm like, man, I almost hung up on that lady. My name's Nicole. I ended up getting that part. And then Mike was like, I told you I was going to get you in. So I got my own trailer and I got a chance to experience all that, you know what I mean? Got my SAG card all in the same weekend.
I watched that film just for you, Melvin.
Yeah, man. It's a wonderful movie, man.
Yeah,
I'm surprised it didn't make it all the way to the big screen. It made it to the blockbuster, but not to the big screen. But I enjoyed that movie. Yeah. Got a lot of accolades from that movie, and it's something that I would cherish, for the rest of my life to be an actor, And it's something that a crossover, all bodybuilders want to cross over into something else, especially into the acting, trying to follow Arnold. Everybody wants to be an Arnold.
Yeah, but you've got that personality, Melvin. You've got that charisma. You've got that. I mean, I could see you as a stand-up comedian. I could see you as a flamboyant show promoter with Chris. I could see you doing so many things. I'm with it. You got a lot of. Yeah,
me and Chris, hey, that man right there. We've been around each other, man, since the beginning of my career, all the way through to the end. I remember the last time, and it's I don't know how Chris is gonna feel about this. I remember the last time I was with Chris in the backstage, and I was in my own, you know what I mean. And before that, there were certain things I just wouldn't do. Yeah. So when they went on that tour, if you notice on that tour, Chris, there was 5 places they went, and Russia and Amsterdam was the last 2. I said, man, I told Chris, I said, I ain't going. Hey, man, you got to come. I said, Chris, I can't handle that because if I'm going to pop off, I'm going to get all the way to that cannabis. I ain't going to come to the show. I ain't going to act. I ain't going to act because I know I ain't going to make it. I know me. Yeah. I'm going to get off over there. You ain't going to see me no more. I'm going to be gone up in them damn party halls. Yeah. He's like, and then you got to go to Russia. After that, I knew better. I said, Chris, I can't go. Chris was so mad at me. He said, man, you know how much money I make? I don't give a damn. Russia got the mob over there. I ain't going. I'm a fighter. And then you want me to go where all the weed I can smoke? I'm not going there. So I didn't go. Last time I saw Chris, we were at the Olympia. Yeah. And it was Chris's last Olympia, man. And I saw it coming. It's just sometimes when you know that you're going to just put it down. And I saw Chris coming around the corner, man. And if you remember, Chris, as soon as he didn't get a chance to say hi to me, I already started crying. He came around the corner and he looked at me and I started tearing up. And I'm like, don't come over here, man. Don't come over here. I got to get on stage. Don't come over here. He's like, nah, man, I want you to have fun up there, man. I'm just this is my last time, man. You know what I'm saying? This is it for me. I think I'm going to just, and I said, man, Chris, get away from me, bro. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Chris came over and hugged me, man. I swear to you, man, he brought tears to my eyes, man.
Oh, wow.
I said, man, don't do that, man. He's like, man, I ain't going nowhere. I'm always be here, bro. I'm always be. You get up there. It's right before I got to go on stage, man. Get away from me, bro.
Emotional before you go on stage.
So Chris sent me up there, man, and I showed out that night.
Yeah.
So I got to do this for my homeboy. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to go up there.
Yeah.
It's the reason why you here. You remember when you started? You remember? And I had to go relive that in my mind before going on stage, but I was able to handle it. I said, man, I love that dude right there, man. I was like, you ain't got to come over here with all, man. Everybody back there, it was like everybody couldn't do nothing but go to Chris. You know what I'm talking? People weren't trying to listen. Everybody in line, man, forget y'all, man. We got over here. We was cutting up back there. We was all trying to be around Chris. Nobody wanted to leave Chris's side, man. We was all back there around Chris, man. Promoters and everybody. Like, man, Chris.
Well, I came out of that coma and I did, 2 more shows and that was it.
Yeah. I didn't want it to end, man. I wanted Chris to be there till I was finished. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always had Chris to go to. Something happened, man. You need to die a couple times. You run out of diuretics, this and that. Chris always had that fatty pack. Come here. I got it.
The magic fanny pack. The magic fanny pack.
Chapstick. All that, man. Chris are always prepared, man. Chris had barbers around him. He had hairstylists. That boy had people. Come up sewing up our outfits. Cynthia.
Yeah. See, and that's another thing. I was helping design some stuff for Cynthia.
Yeah.
And then I went to another company shortly after that. Lost my mind.
The Brazilian one.
Yeah, I had the
Brazilian one. I forget the name. They had a leopard print.
They got the leopard print. Yeah.
Chris always had his hands in something. I learned that.
I was putting the homies on to that shit though.
Yeah.
It was always passing the knowledge and shit.
It's hard to pass it now. These guys nowadays, the new guys, some of them think they already know. And it's okay because once you become a star without having any help, they think they need no help.
But that's the thing, though. Even like getting deep tissue massage and all that stuff, people they wasn't even up on that stuff back in the day when I was already doing it as a teenager. But I was telling everybody how important it was. From like Jay Cutler to tell you, Melvin to tell you.
Yep.
Like, I was putting people on like this is how you do it. This is the blueprint.
Talking about Steve Murphy.
How to bring that physique, yeah.
Steve Murphy. Man.
And Steve worked on everybody.
Everybody. Dorian, everybody.
Everybody went to Steve. For sure.
Yeah, these are little guys, things that people don't have. They don't have these tools, but man, shoot. You're listening to this show, man. Take what you can take and use it, bro. There's a whole nother level that you can go to. It doesn't matter where you're from, it's where you're at and what you're doing, man. That's right.
Guys, this has been absolutely amazing. It's like I'm really, really glad I got you two on together because these stories. I mean, this has been amazing. So we'll leave it on the leopard skin posing trunks as our final topic, and the massage, and I just want to thank you.
and the pedicures,
and the pedicures, and the nails. I didn't have a clue what you were talking about. I was thinking nails. What's he talking about?
Yeah, nails, man. I'm manicurist. I do manicures, silk wraps, gel wraps.
You have to bring that kit back out.
Yeah, I gotta bring the kit.
Melvin have his kit with him.
I bring that kit with me. I got you.
Right. Okay then. Well, Melvin Anthony, Chris Cormier, thank you so much for coming on MD Global Muscle, and this has been a real thrill to have you on, guys. It's been really, really good. Thank you so much.
Good catching up with you, Melvin.
At any time, man. Love you,
Good
man.
looking out, dog.
Sir.
Appreciate you doing that with my nephew too, man. Appreciate you reaching out, dog.
I help anybody at any time. You just call me at any time.
All right, man.
Okay. Thank you, Melvin. Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
For sure.
Speak to you soon.
For sure.
Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.
See you next time, man.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Okay, guys, it is shout-out time for episode 12. Episode 12, MD Global Muscle. Right, okay, first one we have. In fact, this isn't really we're not really so much doing shout-outs anymore, because the shout-out segment used to be about shouting out people that watched and followed the show, but it's turned into more of a news kind of source. So we go to people's Instagrams and we kind of find out the kind of topics of today. And so that's basically pretty much what the shout out segment has turned into. But yeah, so the big news was on Larry Wheels. Larry Wheels, I believe this is out in Dubai. Now, I'm going to show you this, and if you want to look the other way, I won't blame you, because I will be looking the other way because I'm very squeamish over stuff like this. This was a British pro. I'm not going to click on it yet because this is Ryan Crowley, a British pro who was training with Larry Wheels, and he put, I think it was 5 plates, 500 pounds on an incline, and he tore his pec completely off the bone. Now, of course, it is filmed, so I'll tell you what, we'll just play the clip. It's obviously Larry Wheels, there 2.2 million followers. So I'll play the clip. And should we put the sound on? Because I'm probably going to hear a snapping noise.
Go on then, let's hear this.
Oh, this is gross. It's really bad. Hang on. Okay. I can't look at it. I can't watch. I heard that. Did you hear that? God, I can't watch that. I can't watch that. I cannot watch that. Did you hear? It's like a... Oh, that's actually... Oh my God, that's going to haunt me. Oh, that's gross. Anyway, so, I mean, we've shouted out Larry Wheels before, but oh God, that sound went right through me. Oh, fuck. Sorry, pardon my French. But yeah, we've given Larry Wheels a shout out before. But yes, so anyway, so Ryan Crowley was, yeah, so there you go. There you go. Complete tear off the bone. It's not the muscle that's torn. It's the tendon that's completely torn off. Now, I understand there's been a huge outpouring of support for Ryan. He started to GoFundMe for his surgery because he's out in Team Personal Record. I wouldn't be putting that up. Yeah, Ryan Crowley. Yeah, so they set up a donation page. I don't know whether I agree with this, to be honest, because like this is the problem. Like Larry Wheels is Larry Wheels, Ronnie Coleman's Ronnie Coleman. You know, don't try and play Larry Wheels' game when Larry Wheels is known for doing that, and he's very, very specialised at doing what he does. Ryan Crowley's a professional bodybuilder. Is he pro? I'm not sure. Might be. Yeah, I think he's pro. But I mean, doing 5 plates on an incline for 1 rep. I'm guessing the kind of weight he's using is 3.5, 4 plates maximum on incline. So I don't know why these bodybuilders do that to film for social media. Because, I mean, the good news is he has ripped the tendon, and to repair a tendon and have the muscle look the same and not have the big indentation, you want to do it on you want to tear your tendon, not the muscle, because then the muscle's disfigured. But if he gets a good surgery, yes, he'll be able to compete again, and I'm sure he'll be fine. But I just don't know why they do shit like this for a 1 rep max with Larry Wheels. I think it's pointless. I think it's pointless, and I think it's just playing with fire. And I just think it's really this is the problem with a lot of these kind of, Larry Wheels is a social media guy that has made a very, very good name for himself. He's not really a competitive bodybuilder. He's done a couple of shows, but he's very good at doing that. So leave him to it. He does crazy shit several times a week on his Instagram. And he's known for that. But if you're a professional, if you want a pro card, or you're already a pro and you're looking to get ahead, just focus on training like a bodybuilder, not trying to do a 1 rep max in a gym with someone who is like freakishly strong and known for doing crazy things day in, day out. So yeah, but obviously I wish Ryan all the best. I hope he gets a good surgeon. Because Kevin Nerone, when he ripped his pec in '93, he had a different kind of surgery where the muscle was stapled into the armpit. And if you look at any most pictures of Kevin Nerone, apart from in '92 before he ripped the pec, you'll see that you can't even tell that he's had a pec tear. So, but obviously most bodybuilders don't have that kind of surgery, and their careers are pretty much affected always. Because obviously their physique doesn't look the same. Tony Freeman's the only one who had a pretty noticeable pec tear that it didn't really kind of affect him too much. Barry DeMay ripped his pec Rich Kaspari ripped his pec. But it's one of the worst injuries you can get. Maybe, I think the quad tears, I think, the worst ones, like when Jean-Pierre Fuchs tore his. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, I just, like I said, I worry about the whole social media, this trend of trying to sort of do crazy stuff on camera to kind of get likes and followers, because as you've seen, it ended really badly there. And thing is, that must be very traumatizing and very worrying, you know, and it's a lot of pain. And now he's having to get a GoFundMe to even pay for the surgery. So it's a shame he can't fly back to the UK, find a good surgeon and get it done on the NHS. But yeah, so it's a tricky one, but I wish him all the best. Okay, now the other big news is the Arnold Sports UK. This is October the 1st to 3rd, 2021. Now, originally it was just a strongman contest. Ronnie's going to be here. Yeah, Ronnie's going to be there. So, yeah, really excited because also I do the show Nothing But a Podcast with Ronnie Coleman for his channel. So, yeah, it'd be good to see Ronnie again. I took Ronnie to I escorted him to the 2016 Body Power Pro. And, yeah, we sat watching Rolly Winkler win a pro show. Nathan Diasha, that was his pro debut. And he won that one. Sorry, he came second to Rolly, sorry. So I'm just looking at Ronnie's Most Muscular. It's blown my mind a bit there. So, yeah, so I'm sure we'll be catching up with Ronnie there and doing some filming for that show. But, yeah, the major announcement was, okay, history will be made, okay, is that Two Bros and the NPC and obviously the IFBB Pro League will be having an event there. Because I think originally it was like, oh, it's just going to be a strongman event. And I wasn't really that interested in going to a strongman event and an expo. So I'm absolutely thrilled to hear that they obviously, because for me, it's not an Arnold Classic unless you've got a pro show. So they've actually got both. They've got an NPC Pro League, NPC amateur event. And obviously we have the Two Bros IFBB Pro League Pro event, which is on the 2nd of October. It's a qualifier for the 2022 Mr. Olympia, and it's men's open bodybuilding. So that's going to be, is that going to be right before, when's the Olympia? Olympia's 17th to the 20th, isn't it? Yeah, it'll have to be, because it can't be on the same weekend. Yeah, I think the Olympia's on the 7th to the 17th to the, it's either 7th to the 10th or 17th to the 20th of October, which is the Olympia. So this will be a week or 2 weeks before, and a qualifier for the following years. So maybe you'll get some guys who are already qualified for the 2021 Olympia looking to secure their qualification for the following year. Like, kind of like James Hollinshead did last year when he won the British Grand Prix, because he was already qualified for the 2020 Olympia, but he wasn't qualified for the 2021, but he did that before the 2020 Olympia, which qualified him for the 2021 Olympia. So you keep it up. So I know it's complicated, but yeah, because typically if a show's before the Olympia, it qualifies for that Olympia, but obviously with all the COVID and all the situations we've been surrounded by, this is kind of normal now. That shows are, being moved all around. So yeah, so we've got women's fitness as well, invitation only. Okay, so we've got, is that a pro? Yeah, pro. Yeah, so that's a pro. Okay, they got men's classic. Men's classic, yeah, cool. So we've got classic, we've got women's fitness, we have men's physique pro class. Okay, get off. And we have women's bikini and open. So there's a lot of plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pro categories at the Arnold UK, which is the first Arnold Classic ever to be held in the UK. So hopefully this is going to be replaced. This is at the NEC as well, where they usually have Body Power. So I'm guessing it's going to be a pretty major event, this one, with the Expo, the Strongman, the Bodybuilding, Pro and Amateur. So this is a real exciting addition to the UK calendar. And, Flex Wheeler's going to be there as well. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Do you know where that picture was taken, Colin? That was taken at the 1999 British Grand Prix. And that was when Flex Wheeler came on Globe Muscle. And he said he'd put on 10 pounds from the Olympia. So he was 256 here. And some say that was his best ever look. I mean, this was the biggest he ever was. But he was absolutely phenomenal that year. So it's ironic that he's used, not ironic, sorry, it's apt that he's used that picture. Usain Bolt. Shit. Oh, wow. Is he coming? Oh, wow. Usain Bolt's coming. Wow. Okay, that's cool. Obviously, Eddie Hall, one of the organisers, the promoters of the Arnold Classic. You've got, what's that guy's name? The fighter.
Khabib.
What?
Khabib.
Khabib. Oh, that's him. Yeah, Khabib. Yeah. Is he the one with the funny hat?
Yeah, that's the traditional hat.
Is what? Sorry, not funny hat. Sorry, that sounds a bit rude. Sorry. A guy coming up to meet the Arnold.
The first time I saw that, I thought it was hair.
He had hair. So has he not got hair now?
No, I mean, I thought it was hair, the hat.
Oh.
The first time I saw it, I thought,
it looks like she's bloody sheep, isn't it? George St. Pierre. I don't know who that guy is. I'm sorry. I only follow bodybuilding. Right. Who else we got? Hopefully Eddie Hall. There we are. That one. You thought you thought that was his hair? Yeah, looks like a sheep.
Years ago, I thought.
You thought that was? Oh, Khalid, come on, mate. Oh my God. Okay. Khabib Nurmagomedov. Sorry, I've completely murdered that. So I wonder if there's going to be any exhibition fights or Eddie Hall. I'm sure Eddie Hall will be doing something. Is there a strongman show, isn't it? There's a strongman show.
A bit of martial arts, some other bits and bobs.
Okay, I hope Eddie Hall competes in it. First, if actually it was only, half an hour away from here, from the studio, where Eddie Hall deadlifted 500 kilos.
I thought it was
1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Was it 1,000 pounds or 500 kilos? I'm sure it's 500 kilos.
Well, pounds.
Well, 1,000 pounds is 454 kilos. 500 kilos times 2.2 is 1,100 pounds.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty good on maths. Shit and everything else. No, okay. Says the writer, a columnist, photographer. Yeah, okay. Right, okay. So this is huge. Obviously, Arnold will be there as well. So I'm sure you'll be giving me a call to invite me for coffee and nibbles. Okay, right, let's go on to the next shout out. This is Mohsen Samadi. Now, Kalim, who does this look like? Who does that look like?
It kind of looks like a spitting image of Big Ramy just with hair.
It looks like Ramy when he just started, well, not started training, but when he was starting to get big. Doesn't half look like Ramy. I wonder if he could be Ramy's stunt double. Or body, no, what's the...
Ramy's child.
Ramy's child. So, where's he from? Okay. World and Asian champion, overall world champion 2017. World gold 2017. Okay, so let's learn more about him. Looks good there, doesn't he? Whoa, he's a big dude. We need to compete in pro shows around Iran for qualifying Mr. Olympia 2021. We are writing this email to ask for assistance to assist us in participating in the 2021 Olympia. Because of the current political situation of Iran, we find it increasingly difficult to acquire visas to participate in competitions across Europe or the United... right, because originally when I saw that, I said, well, just come and do the British, the Arnold Classic in October. So it's difficult for them to get out of their country to compete elsewhere. Right, obviously. So they're asking the Pro League to consider putting on a show in Iran. Right, okay. Because obviously we had all the problems with Hadi, but he had a lot of help and assistance to be able to, compete at the Olympia both years in 2019 and 2020. So he's good, isn't he, this guy? Wide shoulders, great condition, small waist. I can't read that. Okay, the guy next to him getting destroyed. Completely destroyed. Hey, come on, Kalim, tell me to stop on a picture. That's a good one. Yeah, he's good. He's really good. He reminds me of that Mohammed Elaman we had on from Egypt, who's Ramy's friend.
Yeah,
doesn't he?
Seems like a bit of a lightweight version of him.
Yeah, he's not that much smaller. He's huge, this guy. Okay, let's see. Is this a video? No, it's not a video. Come on, let's see some videos. Okay, is that... Oh, shit. Okay, where are we? Okay, is that in Oxygen? That looks like the famous Oxygen bathrooms where everyone's... This guy waiting. He's waiting for his turn. He's like, oh, this guy's loads bigger than me. And this guy's just just chilling with his top off in the bathroom. Imagine walking in and seeing those three big bastards. Sorry, Carl, you were saying I can't hear because the headphones are on.
Bit weird that, yeah, like you just said.
It's just normal at these. Yeah, but mate, I mean, I've been in gyms where people just drop their baggies and no one bats an eyelid. Although one guy did it in Wales once and he had no pants on. Oh. I know, and he just put his hand there. And I was like, mate, that's a bit. I felt very uncomfortable.
Throw some salt on it.
Yeah, Seeking boy. So yeah, what was I talking about? Hang on, what's this? Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, okay. So, that's a good shot. That's a really good shot. Yeah, he's got potential, this guy. He's got potential. So he wants to... So is he pro? He's pro. No, I don't think he is pro. I think he's saying to the Pro League... sorry, to the NPC Worldwide that he wants... Is that what he's saying? Oh, for quad... No, he's a pro. He is pro. Okay, it's very unclear on his Instagram. It doesn't really say... Oh, Italy 4th professional competitions in 2019. So was that was that either the Kai Green or the George Farah Classics? He took 4th in. I don't remember him placing 4th. I don't remember him. Okay, well, I'd like to know more about him, but there's not a huge amount on here, so it's... But anyway, give Mohsen Samadi a follow. He's got 232,000 followers. And hopefully we can see him. Hopefully we can get some visas and maybe we can see him compete at some Pro League events in or out of Iran in the very near future. Right, okay. What's that noise? Is that an airplane?
Chopper.
Oh, it's a... Get to the chopper! Quick! Under the table. Sorry, I'm getting Nam flashbacks. Yeah, Cheltenham. Not Vietnam. Right, okay. Okay, now Kevin Navarone, the reason I'm... 1 million followers. The reason I'm bringing up Kevin Navarone is because I saw this video the other day, and because Kevin Navarone is actually my all-time favourite bodybuilder. Kevin Navarone and Phil Heath are my two favourites. But I saw this video, and I thought it was so cool. Yeah. Right, here we are, 92, Olympia. He'd only turned pro the year before. Just turn the volume up a little bit.
What is it about
99
Olympia that I just cannot win?
95 Olympia. He won everything else. I love this video. I watched all of this the other day.
I've gotten second.
Yeah.
18 times.
If it wasn't for Dorian Yates and Ronnie Coleman,
I got second, I feel like I should have won.
Kevin Navarone would have several Olympias. 92.
You just have to suck it up, continue to move forward.
Yeah, he'd have at least 3 Olympias. 4 Olympias. 2000, 2002, 95, 92. Yeah, he'd have 4 Olympias. So thank you, Dorian and Ronnie.
There's no secret. It's all about a mindset. It's all about...
Wow, look at him there.
And being willing.
I remember when he hit the scene, the 1991 Nationals, and I just thought, oh my God, this guy's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Porter Cottrell, potentially coming on Global Muscle. Spoiler alert. There you go, he beat Flex Wheeler. He beat Flex Wheeler, and then he narrowly beat Flex Wheeler again at the 1996 Arnold Classic. Oh, look, he got a ponytail there.
The race, finishing your goal. You have a goal in mind.
Fantastic poser. Fantastic.
Never let anyone take you off your vision, take you off your goal.
There you go.
As long as you
93, just started. That was only a few weeks after his pec tear. Well, a few months anyway. But he tore it completely off the bone, like Ryan Crowley did actually. So as you can see, his right pec was the one he tore. But obviously, he had very, very good surgery. 94 was a good year for him. Oh, the conditioning in 92 in Helsinki was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Imagine that turning pro and then a year later winning the Night of Champions and then getting second in your first Olympia. That's incredible. I don't think it'll ever happen again. Go on, Kevin! Shaboom! 93. That was impressive. He said 5 months before when he ripped his pec, when he was recovering, he said he could barely bench press the bar. 4 or 5 months later, there he was, getting 5th place at Olympia. 94 on a classic, a lot smaller though. We'll have to review that one in next episode. I think the 94 Arnold Classic.
Second place.
95. That was one of Dorian's best ever looks. This is Raiden Motivation. We shouted him out in the last episode. Yeah, I love it.
Be strong.
2000.
And do not.
I tell you what, if you want to see a good training video, go watch the M3 Maryland Muscle Machine. He was prepping for the 2000 Olympia where he came second to Ronnie Coleman. That's where he's got the floppy hair. That's from that video. And it's incredible. Press behind the neck, 4 plates.
What we did, we went back.
Claimed 100-pound dumbbell curls, but somebody said they were 65s, but still bloody strong.
No playing around, no partying, no nothing.
No partying. Yeah, 96
we got
Olympia.
real serious for this show because it's time for a change.
Oh.
When you get there, everybody.
I saw him on that British Grand Prix tour. He was incredible.
He was serious this time.
97 Grand Prix tour was the best, though. He blew my mind. I saw him backstage. I was one of the first people to see him backstage. And I went into one of the dressing rooms and he was getting his leg tanned up. And as soon as I saw his quad, I came out and I said to my colleagues in the audience, and I said, tell you, I've just seen Kevin Laverne backstage. No one's beaten that. NASA, Chris Cormier, Ronnie Coleman, none of them. And he won it. There we are. That's it. That was 96. German Grand Prix, 96. Full as a house
The
there.
winner, Kevin Levrone.
Wow, they are 97. There you go. In Finland, 97. He was so awesome. Anyway, yeah, so I wanted to show that video because I thought it was so cool. Right, okay, our next shout out is this was the news that came in this morning. Andy Heyman sadly passed away. The news came in this morning. Sean Ray shared me into on his Facebook posts and on the MD forum, and it's true. I think he was 54, 55 years old. He's one of the most awesome guys I've met, to be honest. I've met him several times at the expos. He was with the supplement company Dymatize, and did a lot of fun photo shoots with his family as the Incredibles. Did a lot of charity work. I believe he was involved in wrestling as well. And then I can't have seen him for the last couple of years. Where is he there? Oh, it's obviously Sydney, Australia. But yeah, so this was really shocking news. I mean, I don't know any details of how he passed, but he's no longer with us. So he's got 4 kids as well. 4 children. Yeah, really fun guy, always dressing up at the expos, like doing all stuff like this. So fun. Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, a really, really lovely guy. I tried to interview him once and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, brother." He says, "I'm contracted to Muscle Mag." He said, "But I'd love to, you know." So let's have a look at any pictures you want to look at, Carleen, of Andy. This is obviously his wife. Oh, bless her. Oh. Going out today with my mate of 28. Our 28th anniversary today, 37 years together. Oh, breaks your heart, doesn't it? Breaks your heart. Yeah. Your strength, you determine its path and how far it goes. Strength is power. Sorry, Colin, do you want to...
No, I don't want to choose one now.
No, do you want to just choose a picture or...
That one.
Which one? That one.
Yeah, that one.
That one. He's always doing silly shit like that. Blowing up the buys, he'd like, and then flex his biceps. And I've seen him at the expos. I'm like, God, he used to work hard. He'd be dressed up in these huge boots and these goofy outfits, and he was just. I watched him. I watched him many, many times. He was great with everyone. Really, really, really much loved character, and he's going to be sorely missed from the industry. And then my heart goes out to his family, to his wife and his children. There you go, look. Oh, bless him. Yeah, he's cool, yeah. Yeah, real good sense of fun. And I remember reading an article in Muscle Mag once. Yeah, so he got into wrestling. Oh, right, okay. So he got into wrestling. Kids wrestling. Look at that one. He's so good. Oh, he's awesome.
Beat up the kids.
yeah, wrestled the kids. Yeah, so he was... what was I saying? Yeah, lovely guy. Lovely guy. Yeah, so I used to watch him at the expos, and yeah, he was amazing. He was amazing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was reading an article in Muscle Mag once, and he was saying how, and the effort he put into his parenting and giving his kids an education and making sure they were brought up right and looked after. And this guy was a real guy that you could really look up to, you know. So yeah, sadly missed. Andy Heyman, rest in peace. Yeah, father, athlete, superhero. And notice he put father first. So, okay. So, finally, what's this, Kalim? Is this... let me guess. I'm guessing this is yours. Your shout-outs. Top cat. Only good cat memes and videos. Which one will see? The ginger one?
The fat ginger one.
The fat ginger one. Why'd you say that? Because I've got a fat ginger cat, innit? Yeah, to the music. Look at the cat. The cat's just not bothered. Actually, be careful of the copyright on the music, mate. I think we better be careful. Which one do you want to see?
That one.
That one. Sees my cat minding its own business. Okay. I'm not impressed with that one. That's not funny.
The bunny one is pretty funny.
The one? What, sorry?
The bunny one.
The bunny one.
Yeah,
The where?
yeah,
I don't see any bunnies.
Right, you skipped it.
Where?
That one.
That one?
Top middle.
That one?
Middle top.
That one? That one? Okay. I don't really get that. I think you and me have a very different sense of humour, Callie. Oh, it's a raccoon. Family.
I thought it was rats.
Rats. Oh, they're not rodents.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Didn't know that. I'm screaming to go alone. Take this screaming potato with you. God. Come on, I need to see a really funny one. I want to finish off strong. I want to finish the episode off strong. Here we are. Come on, be funny. What's he doing? Is that a massager? The cat's getting massaged after a long day of making biscuits. Is he liking that? Oh, he likes it. Oh, okay. One more. Come on. What's this? Hang on. What's this? TikTok. Crunchy. Okay. Right, okay. I've got to be honest, that's not the funniest meme page I've ever seen, but, you know. Anyway, go to Top Cato. Right, okay then. Okay, that's the end of our shout-outs for episode 12, I hope. Maybe 13, I don't know. I've lost count. Of MD Global Muscle. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And guys, we are out.